Hello and welcome to the Victorian Milers Club, second event for the 2021-2022 season. We are almost ready to get underway here at Hagenauer Reserve for the second meet. Joining me in commentary for the moment, Shane Teal. We've got a new voice to the commentary.
Hey Lockie, first race underway. Beautiful night here for it tonight. Should be a cracker, and off we go.
Well, thanks Shane for tuning in as we see this first race get underway. Commentators are just a little bit stuck in traffic, so you've agreed to jump on temporarily.
More than happy to do so, Lockie. Plenty of races ahead tonight, and like I said, beautiful night for it.
So we're going to tune into Tim in commentary until our commentators arrive.
Well done in the run. Half.
Race 2, no scratching. Race 2, no scratching.
Conditions are quite pleasant down here at Fox Hill this evening. Wind coming probably down the home straight a little bit, but needs to be eased as the night goes on. So Samuel Budd. Samuel's out front at the moment, Drake and Gibson. Vernon Gibson next. Achieve. You see that starting to wind up a little bit there. Rain goes through. Fox is 400 metres split. We have got Mitch Dyer working as well on the backers through.
This will be a land race. Head in turn 1.
And holding on that second lap.
2.
Sent out to everybody. So next event on the track now. Let's introduce our competitors. There are 10 of them. Aiden Muscat from Western Athletics is in 1. In 2, Ashley Sanderson from Williamstown. We also have Zach Sanderson from Williamstown. Looks like we've got another father-son combination in the same race. It's always good to see. Zach Malik from Nunawading is in 4. Paul Viney from Collingwood Harriers in 5. We have Lockie Warwick in 6. Craig Pearson, Yarra Rangers in 7. Memento and Lachlan Fulton in 8. From Melbourne University, Greg Steele in 9. And from South Melbourne, Mark Doty in 10. For the 10 starters in the men's K 800 metres.
Don't rock. Standing behind the white line for me. On your marks. Stand up. See where your foot is? Have a look at your feet. Got to be behind the white line, not on it. On your marks.
Good evening, everybody. How are we? We are so sorry for missing that first race now into the second one. If you are down here at Box Hill, you would know that the traffic to get here is absolutely hectic, but we don't care about that right now because we are underway here in the men's K 800 metres, so we'll see how these boys start to pan themselves out. Seem to have a lead pack of 3. Geez, they're going to stretch it out about 15, 20 metres back through the first 200. So they're not messing about. 31 on the clock as they rip through there. And I believe that is Paul Viney who's going to lead us out with an invitational runner tucked in behind him there. So we'll wait and see what the hip number is. It might be Lachie Warwick. So hip number 5 and 6 this may be through the first 300 of the men's K 800 metres. And behind him there is Zach Melick. So Melick sitting about 5 metres off the pace here. Let's get a better read at this. This will be interesting. So, let's have another go. Greg Steele is going to lead it out. So, Greg Steele leading out in front of Lachie Warwick. Behind him there is going to be our man, Zach Melick. And there is a massive pack chasing them here. But in this men's K 800 metres, it is all our man, Greg Steele. He got around through the first 100 metres first, and he's been able to hold off there. So, he might be able to go gun for tape. But the one to watch is going to be Zach Melick, I reckon. He's had a 5-metre sit off the front too. He seems to have the freshest legs. The only man who may be able to get to him from here may be Lachie Fulton. So Fulton going to try and lead through a massive pack. And just going around the outside now is going to be Lachie Warwick. So Lachie Warwick, Melick behind him there. About 1:44 on the clock with 200 metres to go. Our early race leader starting to die, so he's starting to feel the pinch in his legs a little bit. Watch out for Zach Melick, though. Might be able to get right on the back here of Lachie Warwick. So Warwick going to try and stretch him out. Melick not going too far away. It is still Greg Steele. And Lachie Fulton going to try and take him in the final 100 metres. But coming into this home straight, bang, there we go now. Zach Melick of Athletics Nunawading just moves around the outside, bided his time beautifully. Look at those arms pumping. You couldn't get it more textbook if you tried. And that's a 2:17 on the clock for Melick. And a fast finishing. Lachie Fulton comes through for third there. Sort of stuck around in that second spot there, Lachie Warwick. Did a lot of the work there. And a great effort here from our men's K 800 metres. Actually, picture perfect. I don't know, man. I must have left my words in the car. They are absolutely struggling right now. The women's H 800 standing here to my right. You had the weather going, did you? Yeah, love it. It's glorious. It's actually perfect. Oh, dearie me. Thursdays before Christmas, hey? They are just absolutely rampant. So our first of the women's events, the women's H. Come on, Mitchell. H 800 on the track right now. You know, the man who was here on time and does a phenomenal job every single time, Lachlan Rayner. He must have been an absolute champ. How was it? We hadn't rocked up. How were you feeling?
Bit of pressure when 3 of your 4 people working for you all message you about half an hour out saying they're going to be late. But we made do.
Hey, we made it here, didn't we? Well, I've made it here. I'm sure the boys aren't too far away from this point, but we do have our women's H 800 field of 6 here for the H 800. And racing here now in the women's H 800 metres. Let's see who can get around the turn first. And it's going to be an interesting one. So they're going to try and field it out. The 800 metres is always just a dogfight through the first 150 metres. And I believe that is going to be Charlie Dornham. So Dornham going to lead them out. She's going to have about a 2-3 metre lead ahead of the next bunch. And they are all nicely tucked in there. So Dornham going to be the one to try and stretch her legs out early through the first 200 metres. And watch the time on the clock, 33. So don't sleep right now because Charlie Dornham going to try and make them work for it here in the women's H800. Really stretching them out, as a matter of fact. Let's give it 15, 20 metres in front of the pack. And they're all going to try and work with each other or work off each other now to chase the race leader in Charlie Dornham. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that last name, but Charlie Dornham showing us all how to run at 800, and this is slipping. This is all slipping through here. This is great because now we have the great Izak Bibile. I'm going to try and figure out. Let's see, is that your microphone? Charlie Dornham rolls through now.
Me?
Go again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. So Charlie Dornham leading it out, and then it is Tara Van Stratton going to try and chase her down. So they've seemed to have separated this pack, a field of 6, so it was always going to be spotted a little bit of room, but 300 metres to go. It's the Charlie Dornham show. So Charlie Dornham, she started it out with about 15 metres lead through the first 200. She stretched that into being a 30, maybe generous 40. And behind her there is Van Stratton. So Dornham and Van Stratton, our 2 unattached athletes. Someone claim them, 150 on the clock. So Dornham definitely gone out hard, and let's see if she can hold on here. So not a 600-metre time trial. Got to make it to the line here for 800 metres. And there are a lot of serious gentlemen standing in front of me here for the next event on the track. But don't worry about that, because with 100 metres to go now, it is Charlotte Dornham really still stretching it out. Maybe this pack behind might be able to peg it back just a little bit, but it's going to take a lot of work, I believe. And I think that is Millie Williams on the outside there. Dornham still got the lead. I think she's done enough to hold on as well, Charlie Dornham, in this women's H800 metres. Led it from gun to tape, 2:32 on the clock. Great running there from Millie Williams as well to come for a second place. Tara Van Stratton settles for third, 2:32 on the clock. That is sickeningly fast. Sickeningly, there we go, fast. Sickeningly fast. As the rest of our field comes through now, Eddie Pyther, as well as Madison McBrien. And so the rest of our field of 6 is through the line here in the women's H800 metres. Isaac, it's worth noting, and you wouldn't know this because you've just rocked up, we were all late. So that shouldn't make you feel so bad. Was it the traffic that got you?
Yeah, I had to talk to Steve as well, the coach.
Yes. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. He does require a lot of time. So
It's a perfect night for athletics.
Oh, mate, isn't it just? Where else would you rather be?
Exactly.
Nowhere. I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Thank you. What do we got? 10 of our best here for the men's J800. Hey, you obviously haven't seen the PBs. Just read a name. Just have a pick off the name.
I like
Hugo
Kevin
Stubbs.
Mannix.
That's what I was thinking too. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to change it up. I'm going to go Hugo Stubbs of Old Scotch. I think now I went away and did some learning after the last Vic Milers Club. Are those super spikes on my boy Hugo Stubbs' feet?
They are. The Air Zoom Victory Elites.
I'm learning.
It's a good pick.
There's another one. Are they all?
Yep.
Are they the same?
Three or four in this race.
Oh
2
my.
Dragonflies and
Okay.
2 Air Zoom Victories.
Okay, there you go. For everybody at home, Isaac still knows his shoes. Now, you're not racing tonight?
Nah, injured.
Okay. Well, it's worth noting. I don't know if anybody knows Isaac, but I reckon he's grown about 1.5 foot since he commentated last year. So I can understand where the injuries are coming from.
Yeah, it's all part of running. It is what it is.
It's a part of the process, isn't it? Okay, here we go. We're right next to the starter, so I'm scared. I'm going to set someone off. So we're off here in the men's J800, and I had to mute my microphone and let off a little cough. It's worth noting I'm COVID-free. I've had the test. It's all good. So this men's J800 makes their way around the track, and it's going to be Edward Gibson on the outside. Maybe he gets an early flyer, but he's going to have to take it from Jake Beatmanis So I think Beat Manus gets there. This looks like a training group potentially at the front.
3 Mentone boys going for it out the front. About a 30-second first 200, so not bad.
All right, so Beat Manus, and I apologise if I'm getting that name wrong, is going to lead out the contingent of Mentone here. Behind him there is Edward Gibson, and by the elimination process, I think that's Jackson McGregor sitting in 3rd place. So it's still Bite Manus. I'm trying to listen to what Tim has to say here. Gibson going to try and settle to the front of the next pack. McGregor behind him there, and I believe that is Goodings right behind him. But it is old Bate Manus. Let's have a look through here. He's going to go through in about 63, so pretty consistent through the first lap. Now comes Gibson. Right behind him there is going to be McGregor. Behind him too is Marasco. And the rest of them are going to have to try and make up the field here. So Bate Manus has done a lot of the work early with 300 metres to go. Let's see if he can shift his way through the gears or whether the car's going to stall out. And this actually may be Kevin Mannix starting to fly for Glenn Huntley. So he's made his way up 2 spots here. He says it's not all Mentone's way. Let's get Glenn Huntley a little bit of adventure. Marasco as well, 250 metres to go, makes his presence felt, but I can't keep my eyes off Kevin Mannix from Glenn Huntley. Watch him. He's come around 3 or 4. Bate Manus has got a lot of work to do with 200 metres to go. Behind him there is his assumed training partner in Gibson, but they've got a serious challenge here, and I believe that is Kevin Mannix. So really well picked by Izak before the race. Kevin Mannix now, he's been winding it up from 300 metres to go. Has he burned his bickies too early? I don't think so. He's still a little bit hungry with 100 metres to go. Bate Manus done it from the start. Gibson on the outside. Here comes Kevin Mannix though. Can he show that strength? He's going to try and get on the outside. He might as well run in lane 8. Have a look from the back here too. We've got an absolute rogue flyer, but Bate Manus does it. 2:16. He's done it the hard way. 63 seconds through the first 400. But I reckon a PB. And I'll tell you what. Jackson McGregor, he almost just pulled off one of the greater Melbourne Cup upsets I've ever seen.
1,
that
2,
was
3
sensational. Came home like a steam train. Jeez, if only we could all do that. I'll tell you what. And this weather for racing seems to be replicated from what happened on Sunday morning. I don't know whether you were at the marathon or the half marathon, but
on the live stream,
that was a perfect day for running. It was obscene. And now I'm not a smart man, but I'm a wise one, and I think this is the men's I. Yep, I had to do the alphabet in my head there.
Not too many super shoes here. You can see 1 pair of dragonflies on the outside. That's about it.
Yeah, I almost have to get on the dragonflies. Like anyone wearing super shoes, I'm just going to assume they're probably going to win.
They are going to win. Best shoe in the game.
So you're calling it. You're saying our man Charlie Sutherland here on the outside might be the one. This will be interesting. What's on my YouTube? It's a lot of Izak Bibile, so I just got to cancel out of that.
Love to hear.
Yeah. I love running, but cricket is on. Sorry about that. Well, Paddy Cummins isn't even playing, so, I mean, the captain's not there. Who else isn't playing? I feel like we have a few people who aren't playing.
Honestly, I reckon Vic Milers at Box Hill tops the Ashes any day.
100%. I completely agree with that. This is one of my least favourite times of the year because I have to pretend I know something about cricket or care about it. And it never goes well. So we're underway here in the men's 800 metres. Let's see Izak's bold call of super shoes win races. Because you remember you made a call in the first Vic Milers Club, and I was like, oh, if you get it wrong, you know, the credibility goes out the door.
I was close a few times, but I think I got one bang on.
You were incredibly close. You're like the one frustrating thing if you ever put on a multi and it loses by 1 leg. It's just the worst feeling in the world. But the Mentone dominance has come back. So that is going to be Mitchell Fly. What a great name for an athlete. Mitchy Fly. He's going to lead it out from Ocean Shepherd. 2 sensational. I've never hated my name more than watching these 2 blokes get after it. So Bitchy Fly and Ocean Shepherd are going to lead them out there, and I believe that is going to be another Bate Manus. Luke Bate Manus. So the Bate Manus brothers going back to back, potentially. Luke tucked in beautifully about 2 out, 1 back, so he's looking in incredibly comfortable position, and behind him there is Sammy Merrick. So Mitchy Fly, Ocean Shepherd, they're going to be the 1-2 punch going through the first 400 metres. 65 seconds on the clock. Bate Manus behind him there. I reckon watch out for Sammy Merrick and the Super Shoes in Charlie Sullivan. He's got a little bit of work to do here, Isaac, I reckon. So can the Super Shoes get in the seconds that he needs? Right now it's going to be Ocean Shepherd, though. He's going to make his way around. So Mitchy Fly is going to have to tuck on the rail and see if he can keep Shepherd out, but Shepherd's pretty determined. Behind him there, Bate Manus, and so too now starting to get a move is Uweka, Nathaniel Uweka. So Nathaniel Uweka starts to get on the outside there. It is still going to be Mitchy Fly leading it out. Ocean Shepherd right on the shoulder, and here comes Uweka, 140 on the clock with 200 metres to go. So let's watch him move. Yeah, he's done a lot of the work here, Mitchy Fly, 180 metres. It's still tightly bunched. I still think Sammy Merrick with the invitational colours in 5th might be the one to move, and just as I say that now, it is going to be our man from, that is, what is that? That is St. Kev's. I can't even get a read on them. They're all flying right now. So Mitchy Fly done a lot of the work. Here comes Erkiden as well, but behind him there, Bate Manus. Watch the man I told you to watch out for, Sammy Merrick on the outside, but it is still going to be all our man Mitchy Fly. Flies at home with 2:14. Bate Manus comes through for a 2nd place. Uweka for 3rd. And Sammy Merrick started to get rolling late there.
Another 1-2 for Mentone. Back-to-back races.
How's the distance running going at Mentone right now? I did not know they were an established young middle distance crew, but they seem to be, which is exciting. Yeah, it's really hard running off the oldest computer of all time right now. For our second women's event. My goodness. I was saying earlier, Isaac, I left my words in the car. They're not seeming to make a lot of sense at the moment.
It'll take a few races to warm up.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's been a manic time of year. But there's nowhere I would rather be.
Exactly.
Than the home, the mecca, the hub, the institution of PBs.
That should be the new name. Put it
actually
on a plaque.
Yeah, that whole
sentence.
Yeah. You imagine actually changing the name of the track to that? It's not Hagenauer Reserve anymore.
Quote, Mitch Dyer.
Oh, boy. That quote would not be worth a lot. That'd be a lot of
statue
disappointed people.
It's like the MCG.
Yeah.
Honestly, Box Hill Athletics track and the MCG.
Same thing, really.
Same thing.
So our women's G800. Bit of Box Hill representation out here, actually.
First 2 of the evening.
Veronica Wiley and Alana Chapman. Home track representation. Oh, look at this. Has this been here the whole time and I've been unobservant? Okay, because that would make a lot of sense. So you can see the names up on the screen here. If this is the race you're here to watch, then don't blink because the 800 goes by pretty fast. Zach Melick was fast. He was fast. I agree with you there. The man was flying. And I reckon a lot of the athletes competing here, and I'm just going to make a massive call, could be wrong, probably heading to Falls Creek, I would say, over the New Year break. And I know you're injured. Are you heading up there?
I'm still heading up there.
Love that.
Going for a swim in the lake every day. It'll be freezing, but it'll be worth it.
Now, there's an island in the lake at Falls Creek.
Is there?
Yep, a little small island in the lake. I have swum to it. I've claimed it as my own island.
Jeez.
I'm happy for you to reclaim it so long as I get a photo.
I might have to.
Beautiful. So we're underway here in the women's G800 metres. Once again, always a manic start over the first 150. Typically, it's an outside member of the track who starts to get on the rail because you have to do a little bit of work, but I think it may be Alana Chapman of Box Hill who's going to be the beneficiary of the rail. And behind her there is going to be Veronica Wiley. So Wiley going to lead out Chapman maybe. They're just going to sit side by side. This is fantastic. Look at all the room all these ladies have here through the first 200 metres. 32, 33, I reckon, if we're being generous on the clock as they tick their way through. So Chapman and Wiley leading it out. It's either Senior or Kearney behind them there, so we'll get a read on it once they come past us here. But through the first 300 metres, it's a bit of a Box Hill demolition right now. The 1-2 punch right now of Chapman, of Wiley, are looking incredibly strong, and behind them there is Lucy Kearney. So Kearney spotting them about 5, 6, 7 metres, let's call it. But Wiley and Chapman really looking quite comfortable. So look at the clock here. They're going to go through in about 71. Look, both looking really strong right now, Wiley and Chapman. So that lead only seems to be extending. It is Kearney behind them there, and tucked in beautifully is Hartnett. So Hartnett and Kearney going to be the two to lead out this chase pack, trying to bring down Wiley and Chapman. But these two women are stretching it out a little bit. Just as I say that now, I reckon Lucy Kearney might even be able to drag a few up to this leading two. So Wiley going to try and break Chapman down the back straight. Kearney going to try and lead through this contingent of women behind her with 250 metres to go. I reckon it might be Chapman who may be the one to move around Wiley here with 200 to go. 152 on the clock. Wiley leads out Chapman. Kearney still behind her there. Give it 10, 15 metres now. 170 metres to go. Wiley starts to put her foot on the accelerator. All gas, no brakes. And we'll see what she has left with 150. Chapman starting to feel the pinch. I told you to watch out for Lucy Kearney because she starts to move around the corner now. Starting to bring this contingent of women with her too. So 100 metres to go. The race is long but over. So it's Wiley who's going to lead it out. Kearney on the outside now starts to get a little bit of steam rolling behind her. There is going to be Hartnett. Hartnett sitting in third. Kearney now just goes straight around the shoulder of Wiley, or maybe not. Wiley with the late push. It's Kearney, Wiley, and behind them there is Hartnett. And a really well fought out race there. Kearney timed it to perfection. Be a low 2:30 on the clock there. And I can see Piper Hartnett pretty happy with that. Coach Mitch Wilson also stoked with that over there.
Timed that to perfection. Perfectly ran.
Just sat on the shoulder nicely, didn't she?
Yeah.
This is some elite racing early through these men's and women's 800s. And we have another pack of fellas here to my left, ready to get rolling. Super shoes, bang. I'm all over it now, Isaac. You have no idea.
You've done some research and now you
yeah.
know all about them.
I thought, if I'm going to come back, I've got to make the most of it.
Looks like we'll have a couple pairs of dragonflies in this next race.
Okay. Good. That's very exciting. Hey, now, I've seen that Box Hill has a new addition to the track.
The spotlight.
Yeah. And the clock.
And the clock, yes.
It's a very fancy-looking clock.
We can't see the clock from where we're sitting.
Yeah, it is a little bit disappointing, but
I'll have to go take a look.
We got it right here. Oh, hold on. Well, if I move my computer, then we can see it clearly. I know, but I've put my computer in front of it like an absolute nonce. Hold on. Here we go. Beautiful. Now, if you know me and you're calling me, just don't waste your time because I'm locked in. So don't waste your time. Because no one wants to hear that. Not during these times.
Good turnout so far. Track slowly getting busier.
It's actually pumping, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not that it's ever not.
The back straight will slowly fill up once the 1500s get underway.
Good, mate. How are you? More important. We're getting a special guest on tonight. You want to jump in?
I'll enjoy my burger.
As long as you don't talk about the weekend, we should be fine. Are you sick from the weekend?
No. I was just injured.
From
From the 5K.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'd be interested to know how else you got injured.
Performed well, Mitch. Performed well.
Ah, lovely. Guys, I strongly encourage you, if you're ever down at the track, go find Nathan Pearce because he's a great time. He's got a weird head, but he's a great man. He's a great man. So we are here in the men's H 800 metres. I'm going to need to get a water soon, I think. Oh, geez, you are switched on. 16-year-old Izak is more prepared than 25-year-old Mitch, which is unsurprising. So 8 men taking the track here in the men's H 800 metres.
Got a famous name in this race. Luke Matthews.
Lukey Matthews.
Number 7.
The one and only. Jeez. What a... I'm not about to say a blast from the past, but not that much of a past. We do miss you, Luke Matthews. Hopefully back out on the track soon, but for right now, I'm pretty dialed in on this Luke Matthews. We'll call him the real Luke Matthews. The one not racing right now will have to be the fake Luke. I'm sorry.
Stitched up there for Luke.
So through the first 150, they're going to try and sort it out. It's going to be the smallest man in the field.
Angus Ashworth.
Yeah.
In the Dragonflies, he's going for it.
Oh, here we go. This is where your theory... Well, he's certainly going for it.
27-7.
26.
Jeez.
Oh, that's almost sickeningly fast. Can't say that word. It's really impossible. Right behind him there is Austin Fernando. But Angus Ashworth, going to make him earn it here. There is going to be no free ride on the Angus Ashworth train. Get your ticket stamped, boys, because the ticket inspector is checking. As I say that now, it's going to be Austin Fernando. Oh, just gets checked out of it a little bit there. So there's a little bit of argy-bargy. Michelle behind him. Getting on the outside now beautifully is Eddie Harper. So it's 1 minute on the clock. Maybe Angus Ashworth might have spent his pickies a little bit too early, but we'll have to wait and see. Austin Fernando now going to lead him out. On the outside of him is going to be Liam Michelle. And looking really comfortable is, I believe, Ed Harper. So he's got the Camberwell singlet on, obviously running unattached, 117 with 300 metres to go. Watch the legs start to stride out now. And also watch out for Jasper Hopper. So Hopper's starting to move on the outside there, moves his way around Ashworth into 4th place. It's still going to be our man in Michelle, leading it out there, tucked in nicely. Sorry, is Michelle. And the man in front of him is Austin Fernando. 1:35 on the clock. Fernando, Michelle, maybe starting to feel the pinch a little bit is Ed Harper. So he might have to do a little bit of work with 150 metres to go to get back on this front too. It's Fernando and Michelle. Fernando on the inside, Michelle on the outside. I didn't want to call Harper out of it, but he's still starting to get a move on with 100 metres to go. Starts to really pump the arms, old Eddie Harper. I think you might have heard me here. So Harper now going to be the one to take it to Fernando, but Fernando wants the dogfight. He's still barking at it, but I think Ed Harper's got his arms pumping a little bit harder. Fernando, jeez. Oh, he loves it. Oh, I reckon off the expression, it has to be Ed Harper. So Ed Harper and Fernando come through for 1-2. Actually, Ed Harper's run that with one of his shoes untied. That's even more impressive. That's phenomenal. I don't know how that stayed on. He just about burned him off the track with 100 metres to go. And Angus Ashworth, he's down there. A great run from our man Liam in front of us here. Now, all these athletes can hear us as well. So, you know, we're all very, very respectful down here in the booth. Yep, they're definitely untied. That's incredible.
It's got to be one of the fastest 100 metres run on the box athletics track.
Jeez, I'd say so. Outside of Nana or Wusu Free, that might be the fastest I've ever seen. The crowd is building right now. And
Good turnout in the grandstand. The Barlow Pavilion.
I was about to say, how do you know that? But there's a massive sign that says Barlow Pavilion. Men's G800 now on the track. 9. All right. Well, we haven't done this for a few races, so I'm just going to go at it. I'm going to get around. Oh, we got a Spicer Track Club athlete here as well. Coached by Sam Spicer. Spicer Track Club. Just got to always get those in for Spice, man. Seems to enjoy. He'll be here, so it's not like he's listening, but that's okay.
We've got Brett Gilligan here in with the number 8. He's the guy that runs the 5K Frenzy in Bendigo.
Oh, really?
We streamed last year, so we'll be streaming again as well. So keep an eye out on him. He was on commentary.
Go, Brett. All right, here in the white singlet, the white, blue, and red singlet, because I just looked to my left and there's an all-white singlet. So let's not get that confused. That is Ashton Sin. But we're right on Brett.
Who's your tip for this race, Mitch?
I'm going to go James Fallon right in front of us here. You know why? Because I'm going to buy into your theory.
Oh, the super shoes.
Yep, I'm going to buy in. I've been a cynic.
I've got to back my man, Kalen Luong, fellow
Yes.
Stats Track athlete. He's a national medalist in the 3K, so he's stepping down to the 800.
Oh,
He should have the strength towards the end.
I feel like you have an inside word.
I do. He's in
Okay.
good form.
You're like a horse whisperer right now.
He knows how to go to the well, which you need to know how to do in 800 because you need to be able to give it everything.
When was
Hurts
our
a
man's
lot.
last 800? Or is this his first ever?
I reckon it might be his first at a milers. Because, yeah, he's more of a 15 3K guy.
All right, I'm excited. Little unsteady the first time around, but the second time we get underway. Geez, you should have seen Isaac's head just whip around there. He's very invested in Kalen Luong. So Luong going to try and get to the front. No, he's just going to be happy to sit back. And our man who will get to the front, I think, is Lachlan Connors. I reckon. So number 6 on his hip. Yep, wow, I don't know how I knew that. But Lachlan Connors is going to be the one to get to the front now in this, the men's G800. 27-28, let's give it on the clock. Behind him there's our man Jimmy Fallon. So Fallon, geez, he stepped down from his talk host show in America to come and run the 800 at Milers Club. That's phenomenal. So thank you, Jimmy. He's going to do a little bit of work, though, to get on the back of Lockie Connors. And here comes your boy now, Isaac, Kalen Luong. He's going to get right on the outside of the shoulder of Ashton Sin. And so he's going to have to do a little bit of the work now to bring that glue back together. So right in front of him is Jimmy Fallon, and in front of him there is Lockie Connors. So they're going to come through in 59. Connors, Fallon, Luong sort of stuck in a little bit of no man's land with 370 metres to go. And we're also watching out for Brett Gilligan, who runs the 5K Frenzy up there in Bendigo. So he's sitting there in 4th place. Now coming around on the outside here is Jimmy Fallon. So Jimmy Fallon gets right on the shoulder there of Lachlan Connors with 300 metres to go. Certainly not done with that. We're going to have to wait and see what Kalen Luong has. He's starting to go through the gears now. He's shifting a little bit. Starts to put his head on the swivel and see who's coming with him. Realises it's no one, so it's go time. Jimmy Fallon with 200 to go, 131. Lockie Connors might be feeling the pinch a little bit here. Here comes Kalen Luong as well, but I reckon it's all Jimmy Fallon right now. Isaac, 150 metres to go. Fallon's dropped the arms. He's put the absolute gear stick on 6 and said, come get me if you can. So Jimmy Fallon with 100 metres to go. He is springing off the track. Luong now on the outside of Connors, and there's a little bit of a gap back there to Brett Gilligan, but it is all Jimmy Fallon right now. The Sandringham athlete with about 25 metres to go. He's going to take it out. We've got a 1-2 punch here. 2:04, and here comes Luong in 2:06. Connors behind him. Here comes Brett Gilligan as well, and the rest of the field makes their way through. And Isaac, we've gone 1-2.
We have.
Wow.
Good at this.
Hold on. That, I mean, I don't know James Fallon, and I hope he doesn't mind me calling him Jimmy the whole time. But the 1-2 punch, about 2:06, would you be happy with that, Kalen Luong?
I think you'd be very happy with that. Going into under 15s, running 2:06.
Oh, my.
Start of the
Under
season
15s.
for a 3K man. It's not bad.
What are you guys eating nowadays? Like, you're all tall as. Like, I'm 6'3". Like, I feel like I'm tall, but I got tall late. You're all tall young. It's ridiculous. I'm just baffled. I feel short. So we got a few sore bodies walking off the track. as we turn our attention to the women's F800. Do we try it again?
Why not?
Like, you had a little bit of inside word, training with. I'm still impressed. But this is, you know how hard it is to do it raw? I'm going Lara Smythe or Smith.
I was going to say her.
Oh, do we double up?
Because she's got the Tokyo colorway spikes. But I've got to go with one of the boxer athletes, either Campbell or Hodder. They're my tips.
Okay. Well, we're underway in the women's F800 metres. And so we'll see who gets there first. I reckon it may be Brianna Sherry on the inside there. I think she might be able to cross first, and she does. So Sherry again going to make these women earn it. Gee, she starts to spread it out about 5-10 metres through the first 200 metres. So in an absolute world of her own right now, and 30 seconds through the first 200. So right on a flying pace through the first 200 metres is going to be Brianna Sherry. Behind her there is a big pack of women. We'll try and get a read on who that is. And I cannot quite see who that is leading out the pack. It is one of our Box Hill athletes, so maybe it is Peyton Hodder leading out this group, tucked closely behind Lara Sakana. So right now, it's all Brianna Sherry. She's got about a 15-20 metre lead through the first 400 metres. 66-67 on the clock. So certainly making these girls work for it. And on the outside there is Sophie Johnston of Athletics Nunawading, who looks incredibly comfortable as well. So let's see if these girls can start to peg back a little bit of distance here on Brianna Sherry, but she certainly made it a race of her own. And I reckon Sophie Johnston is going to be the one to try and bring him back into it. So Sherry now 25 metres clear with 270 metres to go. Now we start to see some moves made in this second pack. So where we're going to get up this back straight here is going to be really, really interesting. It is Sophie Johnson still leading it out. And I think that is tucked in closely behind her there, Peyton Hodder. So Peyton Hodder of Box Hill, who was one of your tips there, Isaac, have a lot of work to do, though, to get back to Brianna Sherry. So Sherry's still got that 10-15 metre lead, but the one closing in like an absolute steam train right now is Sophie Johnston. So Johnston started to do it with 300 metres to go. And she's certainly starting to make her presence felt with 100 to go now. So it is Sherry. She's done it from the gun. Can she bring it to the tape? I don't know if she will. Johnson on the outside now, and tucked closely behind her there is Lara Sakana. So Sakana on the outside of Johnston. I think it's going to be Sakana. It is. She moves right past her here with 15 metres to go. 2:25 on the clock. Johnston going to have to settle for second. Hodder for third. And that is some sensational racing here in the women's F800 metres.
She's like, my watch is broken. It's been saying 14.
Got the men's F800 metres on the start line now. About to head out there. In hip number 1 from Collingwood, we got James Morelli. Hip number 2, Ronan Jackson, unattached. From Box Hill in hip number 3, Adam Schlitt. Jet Schofield from Wellington in hip number 4. Julian Horsey from Sandringham in hip number 5. Jack Ellis from Chilwell in hip number 6, Neil Brennan from Mentone in hip number 7, and Joseph Anderson from Collingwood in hip number 8. So I'm not sure who's going to take out this one. Got a few pairs of super shoes, but don't recognise many of the names. So I'm sure they would have done last Milers Club, so they'll be a bit sharper by now, but we'll see how they go. Not bad. So we're off and racing here in the men's F800 metres. It looks like the Sandringham athlete's going to go for it, or maybe even the Box Hill athlete in Adam Schlitt, that is in hip number 3. And also on the inside there looks like Ronan Jackson. So we don't have James Morelli from Collingwood in hip number 1, so we're one man short here, but we still do have a Collingwood athlete on the outside who's just going to take his time to merge in. And through the 200 we're going to go through in 27, so they're moving. And Adam Schlitt, he wants the lead, but he's just going to sit on the outside of Ronan Jackson, it looks like. So a competitive race here. It's strung out, but everyone's still in contact. So this is anyone's race as they go through 300 in about 43. So they haven't slowed down too much. Looks like Jackson and Schlitt are just going to fight for the lead. And also on the inside there, the Chilwell athlete, Jack Ellis, he's looking to try and make a move to push through, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get into the lead. So through 400 about 58, 59, and Jack Ellis, he's found his way into second, and he's going to go with Schlitt, it looks like, as Ronan Jackson just starts to move back. So down the back straight, it's still Schlitt in the lead with Jack Ellis behind him. And we're seeing Jackson just move back a bit as the Sandringham athlete, the early leader, just starts to make his way through the field. And this race is starting to string out a bit more. It looks like Schlitt's just starting to struggle a bit. You can see his head moving around a bit as they go through in 131 through 600. So they haven't slowed down too much. There's a chance they could be on for a sub-2 if they can close fast here. It looks like Ellis is going to be the one to make the push for home, as well as Julian Horsey from Sandringham. And now Horsey is going to move to the lead and pull away from Ellis. Ellis is going to have to respond strongly if he wants to stay in it for the win. But Horsey's going to kick away. I don't think he'll be under 2 minutes, but it's going to be pretty close. Could be close to a PB here. He's just going to miss sub-2, but a very impressive run. And the Collingwood athlete, Joseph Anderson, will come through for second place. So 2:03 for Horsey for the win, and he's happy about that. So very impressive running there. Schlitt and Jackson coming through there in about 2:10, 2:09. So good racing there. The early leaders hung on pretty well, but it was old Horsey out front.
Watch a bunch of people that I've been coaching finish off, and then oh well, I meant to. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Gentlemen, Collingwood and Box Hill back to the white and green. Come back to the white and green.
So we've got the men's E800 metres on the start line now. In hip number 1, I think that's from Wodonga, Logan Wright. In hip number 2, Craig Sanford from, I'm not sure what AWA, I think that's Western Athletics. Hip number 3, Charles Barrett from Collingwood. Number 4, Jack Waters from Box Hill. Unattached in hip number 5 is Hugo Cornell. In hip number 6, Blake Dobe from Ringwood. In hip number 7, Daniel Malone from Knox. In hip number 8, Ben Forster from St. Kevin's. In hip number 9, Riley Walsh from Essendon. And in hip number 10, Liam McLennan from Doncaster. And it's the Ringwood athlete, Blake Dobe, going for it. So he's going to go for the lead. And on the inside, Logan Wright is going to challenge him. So the Ringwood athlete's going to take them out here with the Wodonga athlete, Logan Wright, on the inside. Collingwood athlete's going to come around. That looks like it's Charles Barrett. So a pretty quick first 200, about 27-28. And already they're spread out into 2 packs, it looks like. So this is going to be an interesting race. It looks like it's going to be a 2-man race from the gun if these 2 get away. But the rest of the field needs to stay in contact with them. So the man from Collingwood, Charles Barrett, is going to move his way into the lead here. This is pretty quick, it looks like. They're going to go through the first lap under 60 seconds, so 58 at the bell. This is very impressive running if they can hold on to this. So Charles Barrett, he's gone for it with the Ringwood athlete, Blake Dobe, in second. And these 2 just going to try and pull away from the field. But Logan Wright, he's going to have to do some work if he wants to hang on here. And the Collingwood athlete, Charles Barrett, he's just going to pull away from this field. The Ringwood athlete's going to have to try and go with him. We can see this field is fully stretched out now. We can see a Carlton jersey moving through the field here. But they go through 600 in 1:27. So Charles Barrett, he's on track for sub 2 here. This could be his first time under 2 minutes, I'm not sure, but this is very impressive running. So Barrett has done most of the work here. He's led for about 500 metres, and he's definitely going to be on track for a sub 2, I reckon, if he can hang on. The Ringwood athlete, Blake Dobe, he's trying to finish strong, but Barrett, he's going to hold on. Dobe's going to have to settle for second and watch the clock. This is going to be fast. It could be our first sub 2 minutes of the night. It's going to be right on there. 1:59, it looks like maybe 2 minutes. But I think Barrett should have done enough to get under 2 minutes. And it's a very happy boys crossing the line now. So I reckon there were lots of PBs in that race. They set it up well, went out in a 58, so they weren't messing around. And could be our first sub 2 minute of the night there. We'll have to wait and see for the official results.
So, sorry, been away for a little bit. Throat is a little bit under the weather, so Izak has been absolutely flying. We now have the beautiful acoustics of our man Mick Masseni. I'm going to step out for this race as well so I can eat this sausage and not be too loud because the race is about to start.
Hello. Beautiful acoustics.
So we're off and racing in the women's E800 metres. Looks like the Box Hill athlete Hola is going to go for it. She's going to take them out here with the Nunawading athlete tracking her closely and the Mentone athlete on the inside there. So they're fairly bunched up early. This could be one of our closer races. So far they've all been pretty strung out, but Hola's going to take them out and the rest of the field's just going to settle in behind her. So they're going through 200 here. Honest pace, 32 seconds there. So this is impressive running if they can hold on to it, but Hola's stuck out there with about a 5 metre lead. I'm not sure if she wants to be leading. She's not really breaking away from them, but she is out there on her own as the rest of the field starts to string out now 300 metres into this race. And it is the Mentone athlete, I think, there in second place with the Nunawading athlete in third. So Hayder from Mentone there in second place is going to have to keep this pack in contact with Hola because she's leading as she takes them through the bell in 68 seconds, and she's got about 5 metres, maybe even 10 now on the rest of the field. So she's out there on her own. It'll be interesting to see if she can hold on to this. And we've got another runner coming around there. Try to get the hip number of that athlete, but they're going to have to try and bridge this gap because Hola's just going to run away from this field if no one makes any moves soon. It is about 10 metres at the moment, and it doesn't look like that gap's getting any shorter. So it's all Hola on her own at the front of this race. And the rest of the field, they're pretty close. It's going to be a battle for second and third, but it looks like there's 3 ladies in this race who are going to have to challenge Hola here with 200 metres to go. Still about a 10-15 metre lead on the field, so it looks like it's going to be Hola's race from gun to tape. Not sure if I can see anyone out kicking her from here, but the rest of the field's going to have to try and do some work if they just want to get anywhere near her and make her get a competitive race. So it's going to be Hola, 100 metres to go. She's all on her own. So you can see a Doncaster athlete making her way around our Mentone and it looks like Deakin athlete there. But Hola's going to win this. She's led from gun to tape. Let's have a look at the clock. Just going to miss the 2:20 it looks like, but still a very impressive time here from Hola on the home track. 2:23 for the win. Led it from gun to tape, and the Mentone athlete will get second in 2:27. So some very impressive running there, front running. Led it from gun to tape.
Oh, I just heard Nick Wall prattle on for the last minute. Apparently stepping up from the 400-metre hurdles there was our race leader, so that's pretty impressive, I think, maybe for a debut 800. But I couldn't think
4-second PB as well.
Wow.
So very impressive.
Well, if you can get your way through a 400-metre hurdles, you're going to be a pretty good 800-metre runner because they're probably 2 of the hardest events in athletics.
Well, it's been 400 hurdles has been the event of the year, hasn't it? For the men's and the women's at the Olympics, some of the best races of the
all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the best races ever. We've got the men's D race up right now, but the next race after this will be the women's D, which is also the Dash for Cash for the evening. Don't know if there's any time bonuses for the A races later on this evening, but the Dash for Cash will be the women's D race, $100 up for grabs.
Oh, you'd love that.
Let's bring the excitement up for the men's D, shall we?
Well, they're off and racing now. Look at them go.
Guy Frick. There's a few regular names at Milers Club in this race. Few seasoned junior athletes who are all of a sudden not so junior and powering across into the lead. Sebastian Farrelly in the orange top from Mornington Peninsula has grown about 1 foot since the last time I've seen him on the athletics track last season, I reckon.
Yeah, isn't it an intimidating thing when you see the juniors start to grow up? Like, it's actually, I was just saying, Isaac's grown 1.5 foot over the last year, so I don't know how I feel about it, but as you said, look at Farrelly go, though. He's just going to take him right on the outside of him. You cannot miss him in those bright yellow, green, I can't really tell, but it is Jared Cripps right on his shoulder there. So Sebastian Farrelly going to lead it out. Jared Cripps not far behind on his shoulder. In fact, nobody in this race is far behind at all. At the back of it is Guy Frick. He'd be only a matter of 5 metres.
Finn Staple right there as well, the athlete from Wellington in the white with the blue and red stripes coming up on the shoulder of Farrelly. Is he going to take the lead from him just yet? He might wait till the straight, but Farrelly doesn't want to give him an inch with 300 metres to go in this 800-metre race.
Yeah, I reckon watch out for Costanzo on the inside as well from Ringwood. He has had the sit of the rail the entire way, and now who starts to move is Kevin Zhu from Glen Huntley. So Zhu almost just got a little opening and said, you gave me a little bit too much room, fellas. Zhu going to try and push through. Look at it, wide on the outside, flying from the heavens is Alexander Gibson. So Gibson 180 to go, gets the arms pumping. Zhu going to try and chase, and so too behind him there is going to be Simon Glennington. But look at Gibson go. Zoo's got a little bit of work to do here with 100 metres to go. It is all Gibson. Alexander Gibson, he actually flew from the back of the pack right now, and he's going to charge down to this finish line, you would think. Absolutely flying Gibson. So he's put about 15, 20 metres into them. The man coming back is Sebastian Farrelly. Gibson wants to go under the 2-minute mark. Does. 1:58. Look at the relief on his face.
5-second PB for the 16-year-old from Mentone.
16? Honestly, what are we feeding kids? This is ridiculous. He's got a better build than me. Gibson, 158, showed him the door and closed it immediately behind him. That was sensational. I've never seen someone fly from the back and kick on like that.
It was a sudden kick as well. Just came from nowhere and went bang.
Didn't even see him coming. I need to be more astute. And this is it, Lockie. This is the dash for cash. What do you reckon, Mick?
I reckon someone's about to win $100.
I reckon that's a good way.
Forget about PBs. $100 up for grabs. If they know about it. If they didn't, now they do.
Well, I'm going to put in a guess.
I thought you were about to say you're going to put in 50.
Yeah,
make it $50.
I'm going to
$50 a second.
$200.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine I just
Very
dish out
generous
a
of you.
big green $100 note at the end of it.
Such a philanthropist.
Have this as well. Just investing in the talent. I'm going to go with Rachel White because I've seen her race a lot and she blows the doors off the hinges.
Okay, Amber Lowe from Sandringham for mine.
I've got to go with one of the Box Hill athletes, either Smith or Rushmere.
Okay, you got to pick one though. You keep just saying Box Hill. I want you to pick one.
It's hard. Got to back my squad and my club.
Okay, fair. We're bad clubmen, Mick. We seem to just be ditching our clubs. But here we go. Through the first 150 metres, there's going to be Rachel White on the inside, and tucked in nicely on the outside there is Chloe Johnson as well. So 30 seconds through the first 200. So everybody wants that cash. They're certainly dashing for it. Through 220 metres, White and Johnson are going to lead out this pack.
It's your early pick, Mitch. Rachel White is charging. Well, they're showing the rest of the pack what to do. Maddie Tarabay from Nunawading right up on her shoulder. And the young athlete from Box Hill in Annabelle Smith is trying to thread the needle between them.
Well, mate, I'm telling you, Rachel White absolutely loves to lead races, so this will be not a strange position for her at all. She's going to go through in about 66, so she's going to make them work. On the outside now is Russmere, so she says, this is my 100, all right? I train at this track. I know this track, and I'll be taking the big green slice of lettuce at the end of it. So here comes Russmere with 300 metres to go. White's got a little bit of work to do, biding their time really nicely now, moving into the third place position, I believe, is Amber Lau. So Lau may be there, just on the outside of White. Maybe Russmere's gone a little early, but she does look strong, so it's going to be Lau tucked in nicely in second place. Also watch out for our Wellington athlete, which is one of the two. I think it is going to be, Ada Hill.
Next best of the rest, but the camera angle is deceptive on screen. We're getting this from across the track, and there's about a 20-metre lead that Russmere holds over the rest of the field right now. She's dashing for the cash. $150 worth if Mitch chips in.
Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet? She's coming down pretty fast, Hannah Russmere. 100 metres to go. Takes a look on the inside shoulder and she says, this is fantastic. I got no chores for the weekend. I just made my $100. Don't worry about it, Mum and Dad. Cut your own lawn, because Hannah Russmere does it for herself here down at Box Hill. Look at the clock as well. It's going to be a fast time to go with it. 2:17. $100 in hand. Maybe not the 150, but we'll see how generous I get a little bit later, as the rest of the field makes their way through. And the dash for cash, well, the inaugural stays at the home of PB in the hand of a Box Hill athlete.
Of a Steve Ellinghouse athlete as well. Steve's going to want some of that prize money, I reckon.
I reckon he'll want a lot of it.
7-second PB, if you don't mind, as well. 2:23 going into this race, and a 2:16 going out of it, and $100.
That is
flying. Spent on some new shoes or something.
Yeah.
Actually, those shoes look pretty flashy as I look across the track.
Did Nick Wall just slip her 100?
So it's 250.
Something just happened there, and I'm just imagining in my head he slipped Hannah Russmere 100. But probably not. Okay. Maybe that's just what I wanted it to be.
The fun uncle just slipping $100 cash at Christmas time.
Have fun. Don't spend it all at once.
Well, the dash for cash is over, but the excitement keeps building as we get to the men's C 800 metres. The competitors are on screen right now. Who are we liking, boys?
I've got to go with Dylan Egadawade. He's definitely grown a lot since last season.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, he has.
Jeepers, he definitely has. I'm going to go with Jakeb bowler for the longest running shorts I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm getting on Jock and bowler. He's right in front of us as well, so he could probably hear me. What about you, Mick?
Robert Barber in lane 5 in the bright orange Sauconys for mine. Who?
They are very old school Sauconys as well.
Sauconys, not Saucony.
No, I know. You said it completely correctly. Not that I would know. Here's my man.
Bowler. He's going for it. And AeTVLive following him.
Oh, my Lord.
Could just be another 1-2 for us, Mitch.
Oh, yeah. Isaac and I did a 1-2 earlier. It was insane. I wrote it down.
As
Best
Barber
day
in
ever,
the orange
1-2
shoes.
punch.
Just
27 for bowler. This is the fastest bowler in Australia. Don't worry about what's going on in South Australia. It's right down here at Box Hill. So bowler on the inside of him there. Ego Dawade now just goes around the outside of him, and I think behind him now is going to be Aaron Wood. So Wood tucked out, 1 out, 2 back. Ego Dawade going to lead it out. Bowler behind him there, and now tucking in nicely is Chiba Lynch. So Chiba Lynch on the outside of bowler. Ego Dawade going to lead it through. Love that name. 56 seconds on the clock. It is blistering. So he's grown a little bit and got a little bit faster. Ego Dawade. Let's see how they move around this bend now.
And this is our 2-minute dead group. We've got a couple who have broken the barrier so far, but most of them around that 2 to 201 marks are going through in a 56. Sets them up really, really well, or absolutely poorly. Depending on the athlete that you are and depending on your current fitness level.
It's either going to go incredibly well or you're going to have a lot of questions by the end of it. But it
Ego
is
Duarte, 200 metres to go. He's looking a foot taller than last year
Yeah.
as well, and is making about a 10, 15 metre gap on the rest of the field. But they are chasing, and it could be
Barber.
my boy
Barber.
Barber in the orange Sauconys chasing the hardest of the rest of the field.
Oh, my goodness. You guys might do the 1-2 punch now. This is incredible. Egadawado's let it out a lot. It is going to be Barber behind him. Chiba Lynch now starting to move as well. Grant on the back of him. Egadawado might just get there. He does. 158. Let's see if they can all get under 2. 2 minutes
Close.
across the board. Sheesh. So they might have just gone under or just on. Either way, that is probably the closest race we've had.
A bunch of subs.
We love a sub. We love a sub. And just let him out. God, I feel so short.
Feel so short.
Yeah, but like, I'm not short.
It's like we'll just watch a bunch of basketball players run 800 metres.
Yeah. Oh. And that was a cracking men's C100. And so our women's C800. 9 on the track? Yep, 9 on the track. What sort of PBs are we looking at here? Does anybody know? Because these women are starting to fly. Field of 8. We've had a late scratching. And racing. So let's see who gets there. I'm getting on Emma De Jong as my tip. Sister of Andrea. An absolute legend.
And Isla Bradshaw for me.
Okay, here we go. This is great. Look at him get in on the inside there. So we're going to try and get everybody in there. And we need Lucy Jones to join the pack, and she does that just now. So leading them out is going to be Isla Bradshaw. 30 seconds on the clock. So these first 200s are absolutely flying in every race. 250 through. Pretty evenly spread, you would say. Just our athlete at the back there.
They should be bunched. by the end of the race, they should be bunched by about 4 seconds or so. 2:18 and 2:22 are their PBs, but going through 30 seconds in that first 200, it's set up to be a hot one.
It's set up to smash records, I would say. This is going to be a PB.
Even when we go through first 400, we see a clock 64, 65 seconds. That's putting a bit of money in the bank early.
Jeepers.
Let's see how they spend it later on.
Yeah. What's the bank's interest rate? Because I hope it's not too high. They've invested early. Let's see what they can get going now. So 300 metres to go. These women are nicely bunched. We've only lost one off the back, which is Backer. So the rest of them are all going to try and jostle for position with 300 to go. And I believe on the inside there,
Ellie Fleming from Wellington is on the shoulder of Bradshaw now.
Beautiful. And right on the outside of them is Honor Tobin. So Tobin got a beautiful sit outside there. And that is Fleming. So Fleming and Tobin, they've just gone right past Isla Bradshaw. De Jong now, and the rest of the field starting to fly from the back too with 150 to go.
Might be a collection of PBs here for the girls as they pass the discus cage on that back straight, or on the back corner, shall we say. Hannah Tobin, though, 100 metres to go and just extending her lead on top of Fleming and Bradshaw. Tobin, 2 minutes 20 PB, and she is going to... Oh, she's going to beat it. I was going to say she's going to smash it, but she's going to beat it by a fair few seconds. Over 800 metres, she gets 4-second PB for Honor Tobin, few second PB for Ali Fleming as well in second place.
Yeesh. There's something about the track tonight. I mean, there's always something about Box Hill, but
the home of PBs.
Yeah. Home Mecca institution.
I was going to say, don't say it. Don't say home of PBs. Don't say Super Shoes.
Oh, we've talked about Super Shoes.
And
Mitch has got on the train.
Oh, no.
Can already see a few in this race.
So we're up to the Bs and the As now in the 800s, and then straight away we're going to get into 1,500 metres A and B races.
Now in hip number 1, Ollie Armstrong, he was telling me yesterday that he reckons he gets around, so let's see how fast he gets around this track here. It's going to be interesting. And in hip number 5, Peter Holland, one of my good mates, was with him today. He's switched on, he's ready for this race. He was one who went out and led the A race last Milers Club in about a 54 first lap, I'm pretty sure it was. Oof. So let's see how he goes in the B race tonight.
It's great to have you on the panel, Izak. You're always schmoozing, always just getting around the people.
I was with him today.
Talking to the athletes. I was with him. I was talking to him. I was speaking to that bloke's manager.
Nobody does more than Izak.
Seeing some familiar faces tonight. It's good to be down here at Box Hill. Know everyone on the home track.
It's just a great time, isn't it? It's a great time to be Izak.
I'm
fully bought in on Mitch Wilson from Collingwood.
I'm not going to call it for once. I'm just going to enjoy the race for what the race is.
There's been too many losses on this side of the commentary box.
I'm back in the Doncaster runner. In the middle, Peter Holland, my man, and he's going for it. Yeah, just like he did last mile. It looks like he's going to lead.
Last time.
Yeah.
Mate, he's going to try and break that. They are flying. And the other thing is, they're all trying to find a spot. So they're all ready to go. He's going to go through about 26, I reckon. Yep. 26, the field went through in 26. Not just...
This is a close race. That's what you like to see.
What does Peter Holland wants a 154 tonight? Unless you've got inside word, Izak.
I think he'll just be happy with the PB. He ran a 154 at a Shield a few weeks ago. So if you can do that at a Shield, at Box Hill, at a Milers Club on a night like this, I reckon you can run a couple seconds quicker.
Absolutely.
100%. That's what this track is for. And now starting to fly as well as Ollie Armstrong. So Ollie Armstrong's come right. He's doing a Steve Deneen. They noticed the pace dropped off 57 through the first 400 metres. And now let's see. Oh, if you're a kicker in this race, you have just come through that first 400 and gone, thank you very much. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. 300 metres to go now. Here goes your boy. Bang. Peter Holland now. He's going to get absolutely moving. The rest of this field doesn't know what to do. They're scrambling.
Rosato's going to try and go with him here. He's made the trip. He's going to make the trip from Ballarat worth it. They go through 600 about 124.25. So they are moving as the field has gone from being bunched up 200 metres to go to being completely blown apart. And Holland with 150 to go. He's still leading, but Rosato's on his shoulder. And the Skevs athlete in third is going to try and make his way up to them, but it's all Hollander and Rosado. Who's going to get it? I reckon Rosado's just going to move past Hollander. Might have gone too far quickly, but Rosado's going to take the win here. It's going to be well under 2 minutes. This is some fast running here. 1:54.55 for Holland and a few other boys there. And the whole race, I think, under 2 minutes or right on. So some very impressive running there.
Was that even split? Was that a 57? Oh, theoretically 57-57?
I think it was.
4-second PB.
I have never seen... That was insane from Peter Holland up the back straight. You've never seen
Well,
that on a second
they
lap
say
of
to
an
go
800.
for it down the back straight in an 800 if you want to keep it even, and that's what Holland did.
So
Made sure it
Isaac
didn't slow down in the middle
Rosado.
there.
And do you know Isaac?
I've raced him a few times.
Okay.
So he's a good runner. He's won state medals, and yeah, he's going to be on for a big season if he continues the way he is.
Well, you might have the honour of interviewing Isaac Rosado because you seem to know every man and his dog down at the athletics track tonight. We're getting shout outs at the track. We're doing something right, everyone.
Okay, women's B on the track now.
The service down here at Boxhill as well is phenomenal, let me just say. Jeremy does a fantastic job. The whole committee does a great job. I mean, I'm not just singling out Jeremy because he's the president, but Jeremy...
But it starts from the top.
Yeah, he's a special man. He's a special man. In this, the women's B800. Ooh, we got some fast names.
We got some names in this race, don't we? And every single name has run between 2:16 and 2:18 before.
So we're going to be absolutely moving, you would think then. Big field. Interesting to see who gets to the front because I reckon there's a lot of speed demons out there. So, and I reckon that is
Gabrielle Vincent.
Yeah.
You said it, I've said it, it must be.
We are
Isaac,
on
what do you
right
reckon?
now, Mick.
I think it is.
We are on.
Looks like South Melbourne to you as well.
We're learning the singlets. We are learning the singlets.
Who's on the outside?
So Vincent leading him out. She has a nice, commanding little 5 metre gap here. And the rest of the field is tightly bunched. She's got, don't let your eyes deceive you again. I know Mick said that earlier and I liked it. She's got about 5 metres on the rest of the field. Tucked in beautifully behind there is going to be Sky Ellis on the outside of lane 1 in a really prime position. And Dean on the rail there. So Vincent leading it out. And it's going to be Sky Ellis on the outside there and maybe the one to try and chase it down. So 63 on the clock, certainly moving. As you said, 2:16, 2:18 to the PB. So they're all set up to do well. Tanner on the inside, 2 back. Maybe the one to try and get on the back of these lead 2, but it is still going to be Gabrielle Vincent leading him out. So with 300 metres to go, Vincent doing a lot of the work. Behind her there still is going to be Sky Ellis, certainly not done with yet. Maybe the only one who can get a move on is going to be Sky Ellis, but Vincent, she sort of put her foot down very early, and we've seen a lot of gun to tape tonight. We don't typically see it at the Milers Club, but with 200 metres to go, 1:36 on the clock, it's going to take a lot of work, I reckon, to bring back Gabriella Vincent. So Vincent done it early, made him pay a little bit, and now they're going to try and do something special with 150 to go. Let's see how the Flyers can get moving. Vincent maybe starting to lock up a little bit. Sky Ellis may be able to sense something. She's got about 15, 20 metres, so it's going to take a lot of locking up. And in fact, she's going to feel completely locked up to see if somebody can get on her shoulder. The rest of the women now start to fly down this home straight, but it is all Gabrielle Vincent. She's going to take it out here. Watch the clock. It's going to be 2:12, I reckon. So massive PB for Gabriella Vincent. Sensational racing here in the women's B800. Wow. That was a dominant performance.
Absolutely.
From Gabrielle Vincent.
Guns to tape, as you said, doesn't happen very much, but what a treat when we see it. And we're joined trackside by the winner of the men's B 800 metres, who is still breathing heavily after that massive performance and a PB. Izak, how are you feeling?
Oh, mate, so happy about the PB. Working hard for that qualifier, so really happy I got it tonight. Just felt really good this week. Didn't feel great on Tuesday, but I thought take a rest up on Wednesday, hit Thursday hard.
Fantastic. And you sort of tucked in a bit early in the pack and got a bit of a ride early on, and then just took charge later in the race. Was that all there's the plan?
I just wanted to see what the race is doing, see what the pace is at, and then just let some of the boys go through first lap and see what was going to be done on the back 300 and try and go from there.
Well done, mate, and awesome race.
Thank you.
Spoke very well. Wish I could speak that well. But anyway, the men's A800. There are a lot of notable names in this men's A800. The most surprising of which I'm looking at is Matthew Hussey, as he stands in front of, looking very serious, by the way. Joel Donner.
He's a serious man.
He really
if you think Hussey likes a joke, then you'd be wrong.
Yeah, just strictly serious at all times. Adam Pike won race after race after race at Milers Club. I'd love to see a tally of winners of Milers Club and see where Adam sits on it. He just knows how to win. Joel Donner, massive on the VAL scene.
The thing is, as well, if you want to win a lot, you've got to race a lot.
And he does both.
And he does both.
So we are away here in the men's A800 metres. This is going to be a cracking first 200. We've seen a lot of fast start first 200s. This one may be the fastest one we see for the evening. So as they start to make their way around, and it is our man on the inside, Geordie Hoare. I reckon he's going to make them absolutely work for it. And the Grass Amakata is going to be the one to tuck him behind. 25 seconds on the clock. So, yeah, that is the fastest first 200 we've seen of the evening. Go figure, Mitch. It's the men's A800, you knobhead. So, through the first 250, Geordie Hoare just going to stretch him out, I reckon. Look at this. The guy who's come straight from the 90s behind him there. This is phenomenal. That is Harrison May. So, Harrison May behind Hoare. Tucked in nicely there one more time is Amakata. And Hustog right behind him. I know Adam Pike looks like he's a little bit off the pack, but this is what he does. So Geordie Hoare's going to have to make him work. 53 through the first 400 metres. Geordie Hoare stretched him out. Looking pretty strong here, Mick.
Absolutely. Keep an eye on Hussey, traditionally more of 15, 3K type man. Stepping down to the 800, seeing what his wheels can do early in the season. But Harrison May getting up on the shoulder of Geordie Hoare in the back straight. And Amakata is going to let him get away too easily as he gets right up on the heels of May. There's not too much of a lead change, but Hussey, we're talking about Hussey 200 metres ago, and he's joining the three up the head of the field, 150 metres to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, they went through 120 through the 200 metres to go, so they're absolutely cooking. It is May, Amakata, and Hussey right behind him there. Adam Pike might have left the run a little bit too late. Amakata now getting on the outside of May. Hussey's going to have to find a way through the middle. He's just found that way. DJ Hustog says, I know I do it over the distance. Watch me do it over the sprints. 149 stops the clock. Oh, geez, I haven't seen Hussey smile since last year, so that's fantastic to see. Amakata got absolutely flying as well, and they have to give, someone has to buy May a beer, I reckon. He did a lot of the work. Geez, he got a little bit of an opening, Hustog. He made the most of it. 149 on the clock.
He said he's always a serious man, serious about running PBs.
Well, geez, I'll say. I'd love to know what his PB was before that. My goodness.
And we're joined by the winner of the women's B 800 metre, Gabrielle Vincent. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
You led from the very start, just didn't let him get anywhere near you. How did that feel?
It was a bit scary. I wasn't planning on going out so fast. I thought more people would come with me, but I'm really happy. I was really surprised with the time.
And was this your first race of the season? Or you sort of built up to this a little bit?
No, I've done a 15 and a 3 already, but first 800 of this since last year, so it was good.
Testing out the speed of it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
full field of 10. Let's introduce the field. Station 1. Representing St Kevin's, Bridie Hill. Station 2, Hagenauer Rangers,
I'm entranced by the Huss dog. Can't believe what I just witnessed. Oh, just speechless. Can't believe it. So our women's A800, this is a loaded field. A lot of big names here. So made her name in the Milers Club last year. Tess Kearsop-Cole stepped up to the 800 for the first time, took out her first ever 800 at Milers Club, went on to be a national finalist in the Open 800. And now she's back for a little bit more. Ellie Sanford on the inside of her, Rachel O'Brien, Kiara Flavelle, Caroline Hyam, Sophia Hanlon. There is just name after
few
name.
Winners in here.
Oh,
only one can be tonight, but
there can only be one, unless we see a rare 800-metre dead heat.
We've seen a few as we're just sort of behind the microphone speaking to Hussey, a few people going from the 1500 down to the 8s.
Yeah.
Like that, just mixing it up early in the season, bit of this, bit of that.
Yeah, test out those wheels a little bit early. I like it. So it's going to be Tess Kearsop-Cole. Like a bullet out of the gun through the middle of the track. Is going to lead out Ellie Sanford. So Kearsop-Cole, geez, you know, diamonds are made out of pressure, and she's a gem right now. So Kearsop-Cole is going to try and work her way to the front. Not even try. She's just blown it right out of the water. So Kearsop-Cole in this A Women's 800 goes through in 26 seconds. Stepped up from the 400 last year. Knows what this feels like now and is not afraid to go and get after it. Ellie Sanford, the only one who's going to come with her. And as it's a Mick Masseni quote, don't let the camera deceive you. That's about 30 metres ahead of the rest of the pack.
Already 300 metres, 30-metre gap. Kearsop-Cole, Sanford, and then the rest. But keep an eye on the rest because you never know what happens at the back of the field, especially if there's a pack to work with. But Kearsop-Cole going through that first lap in 55, 56 seconds. We could be on, Mitch.
Jeez, 55, 56 seconds with no look of slowing down. So Kearsop-Cole says, Ellie Sanford, come get me if you can. I reckon the only one who can get it now is Amy Robinson, who's going to try and lead through the contingent of the rest of these women. So Ellie Sanford now, she's going to rise to the challenge. It's been throw down. Kearsop-Cole done a lot of the work. 56, as we said, through the first 400. So certainly nobody's going to die wondering out of these two. Kearsop-Cole starts to arch the back a little bit now. Sanford's going to try and get on the inside, maybe with 200. 128 on the clock. So we may be on for an under 2 minute 800 here.
We could, as Sanford just moving up on the shoulder of Kearsop-Cole. Sat at the right time and is now making a move. 150 metres to go, 130 metres to go, extending her lead by an extra metre every 10 as she enters the front straight. Ellie Sanford, 100 metres to go. Is she going to run a sub-2? Let's count her down.
Well, 154, 155 as it ticks through. Ellie Sanford, she's going to go for a PB. 159, 2 minutes just passes now. 2:02.
What a treat, ladies and gentlemen.
Woof. Oh, my God. 2:02 to start your 800 campaign of the year. Holy hell.
How good, PB?
Got to be. If it's not, it's very close. And that would be at the end of the year. So to start your year with a 2:02, that is sensational. Kearsop-Cole hung on for about a 2:07, I reckon. So still flying down that home straight. But Ellie Sanford just found the next gear.
Unreal. Yep. And we're here with the winner of the men's A race, Matthew Hussey, leading early. As you didn't do. You sat in the pack. You're about third or fourth for a lot of the race and just let the race play out. Was that always the strategy, sitting back early?
Well, the strategy was, I haven't done an 800 in a couple of years, so strategy was just to sit back, come through the last 100 and just try and show some strength over the last 100. You know, I don't know. I think I kind of backed myself to come over the top of them, and first lap I was kind of doubting myself with like a 53, and I was like, I don't know if that's too quick or what that is, but I felt good the whole way. And coming into the last 100, it was only with probably 60 metres to go when I tried to get through the gap that I really started to tie up, but no, I felt awesome. That was great.
Yeah, unreal race. I know your coach Peter Burke likes you to
race for training as well. And you've done a bit of racing so far, even some low-key races. Has this all been part of the plan building into the summer season?
Yeah, so plan was, I'm planning to go overseas, so we're planning to get a few races overseas. Whatever standard I can get into, we'll just try and make that work. And so the plan is to sort of just start the season slow and come into it. So we did 3K a couple of weeks ago, 800 now, 800 in January, and then start moving into the 1500s and see how we go, and then run hopefully a quick time in June. We got no rush this season, which is just great. Yeah,
unreal. And my co-host here, Mitch Dyer, just said DJ Hustdog. What's all that about?
I don't know. Mitch has just got a little figment of his imagination playing around. He's just got a little idea, bump into him a couple of times, thinks I'm some DJ, so I don't know what that's about.
Oh, okay. Must be a different DJ, Matt Hussey then. All right, great race, mate. Well done.
Cheers, guys.
Must be a different guy, Mitch.
I must have made it up. Honestly, I must have made it up. I've obviously just heard it somewhere else.
And we're here with the women's A 800 metres winner. We'll keep it short because you're still a bit out of breath, Ali. But unreal race and a PB as well. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, first one back, very happy. Had no idea how that would go, so bloody painful though, but it's good to be back.
And plans for the rest of the season? I know you've sort of dabbled in the 400s over the years and a few 8s here and there. What's the plan going forward?
Doing my first 400 on Saturday actually, but after that have a bit of break over Christmas and then come back and just focus on the 800s. So yeah, that's the main one.
Unreal. I promised it would be quick. Want you to catch your breath, and it will be, but unreal race. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, yep. Good. Microphone's on. That's good. Good. Good way to check it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just still absolutely just smacked back by what Ellie Sanford just did. 2:02 to start the year. It's going to be a painful 400 on Saturday as well. Like that's not a massive turnaround. 2:02.
No, it's someone who's a 4.8 runner. They don't mind a bit of pain, clearly.
No,
Lactic City.
I could never do that. I felt sick almost watching that. And so our men's A 1500 is on the track. I've got 15 names down here. Don't know if we can count out 15 bodies, but let's hope we can. There are a few to watch. Now, if you watch the last Milers Club, Archie Noakes, coached by Charlotte Wilson, is only 16 years old, 17 maybe, and he ran 8:11 for the 3K. I just want that to sink in. I went home and nearly threw up in my bed when I realised he was 16, 17. So don't discount him. 150 on the chest. Love to see that. Look at Will Lewis. His channeling is in a Will Lear with 3.26 on his chest as well.
Is this a return of Will Lewis as well? Hasn't raced for a while.
I think it is the return of Will Lewis.
Return of the King.
Which is one of the greater men
of the
in
Rising
athletics.
Track Club.
Yeah. Of Rising TC. And one of the great men, one of the great hairs in the track. We have Dougie Buckeridge, Thomas Diamond. That is who Izak Bibile has stepped away from the table to watch here in this 1500. We got some athletic royalty around here too. Well, Coles Birmingham has just entered the track. For all you youngins who don't know Coles Birmingham,
former 10,000 metre record holder.
Yes, before Stewie McSwain
claim,
took it at
claim
where?
two.
Where was he when he did?
Now assistant
he was at
coaching.
Box Hill, that's right.
Assistant coaching a bunch of the MTC crew.
He is. Yep, a great mind to have.
Any other fun Coles facts?
Yeah,
Lives or used to live in Ballarat.
Was a bricklayer, Coles Birmingham, and I believe he's a chippy, or he's done part of being a chippy. Has a younger brother,
That's our
Jack.
segment on Who is Collis.
Yep. Has a younger brother, Jack. But enough about that, because we're underway here in the men's A1500. Look at the argy-bargy. Will Lewis, the return to the track, gets the return to the front, which we love to see. A man who's worth watching as well, Jack Lunn, 800-metre World Junior qualifier last year as well, don't forget. Obviously, the team didn't go. But Jackie Lunn, he's going to lead him out. So he's got those 800-metre wheels. Let's see if he puts them into action. We're going to get something fast here, or are these guys just going to sit back and see what happens? I reckon that's 29, so they're going to have a crack at it. So Lunn going to lead out Will Lewis, and right behind him there is going to be Alistair Christie. Noakes sitting at the back, Thomas Diamond on the inside there. Tom Bowers as well. Great 5K runner in Tom Bowers. And the other man that we forgot to mention, Jason Clayton. Who flew last time.
In the 3K.
Absolutely. Heading off to college, I believe, in about 2 weeks' time. So he's going to want to impress. So 50, let's call it 59.
We'll call it 59 because that would set them up well for a 345 or 342 later in the race if they hold this consistency. Jack Lunn, I reckon he raced about every 800 there was to race last season. Didn't see him in a 1500, and maybe I wasn't watching all of them, but it's good to see him out there tonight. Once again, as we said, early in the season, if you're a bit of a faster runner, you could start with the strength and endurance, or you could go the other way round. So it's good to see a few athletes mixing up the distances.
Yeah, well, he obviously wants to string himself out a little bit here. He looks incredibly comfortable, doesn't he? He's looking really, really good. And it's Alistair Christie tucked in on his shoulder. Jason Clayton, Will Lewis, Thomas Diamond. So too Ed Baisha, Bowers as well behind him. Noakes, the man who can fly. Buckeridge also got wheels on him at the back. But look at... My goodness, look at Tom Bowers. Have his feet touched the ground yet? He's actually floating. I'd love to know what are in his shoes. I'd love a pair of them. Christie behind him still. So too Jason Clayton. So too. Geez, he's like a metronome right now, Bowers. He's gone through an even split. Will Lewis here starts to come by, I reckon. Also watch out for, it's going to be Tom Bowers as well from Old Scotch. So Old
Clayton
Scotch
is itching
throwing
though.
it up.
The figure in the turquoise, pale blue Ben Huntley uniform, just stalking Lunn as they round the discus cage about 900 metres into this 1,500 metre event. But is Lunn just holding an extra 3-4 metres ahead of the rest of the field?
Yeah.
He's making it look easy,
He's not
actually.
giving it up at all, is he? In fact, he's starting to spread it out. Tom Bowers from Old Scotch going to get on there. Will Lewis knows how to win races, so he's not too far away. But
Baisha sitting on the heels of teammate Bowers as they look to just run straight past Lunn with 1 lap to go. Bowers, Baisha, our boy from Box Hill.
Yeah, that's going to be Thomas Diamond.
Thomas Diamond.
So Thomas Diamond's going to sit on the back of Baisha. Tom Bowers, he is very good over the distance, and now he's going to try and test his legs. Let's see if his teammate in Baisha has a little bit more to give. Look at Jack Lunn. I thought he was done. He's sitting beautifully there in 4th place. Thomas Diamond grits the teeth. Will Lewis still on the outside. Doug Buckeridge starting to fly too, but it's all Old Scotch right now. Thomas Diamond, though, gets right on the shoulder now. Baisha going to lead it out. He's going to get right. Challenged here by Diamond, so Diamond now starts to move around. I was talking about pressure earlier, didn't I, when diamonds are made?
And he
it doesn't get more pressure than
this.
this.
An absolute gem.
So here he comes right now. Diamond going to start to move. It's the man from Collingwood flying from the back as well. I believe that's going to be Wolfgang Kotra-Nemesi. Diamond. Baisha starts to fly on the shoulder. I think it's Thomas Diamond or it's Baisha. Finds the next gear. 346. Yeesh. Welcome back to the track, Willie Lewis as well.
The Baisha name, an absolute staple of Milers clubs.
Wow. Kotra-Nemesi, he's Isaac's age as well.
Must have run all right.
Tommy Diamond. Geez, Thomas Diamond, he's done every...
A few of the young lads in the A race tonight. It's almost the under-20 championships.
Jeez.
Maybe the under-23s.
Actually, yeah. under 20, under 23. Same thing, really. Wow. Only queens, no princesses out there.
How about that?
Wowee.
A bit of, it was no one's race early on.
No, not at all.
I mean, Lund did a lot of the work early.
Almost no one wanted a piece of it.
How many lead changes, though?
Oh, even through that
3.
final 250. Yeah.
No, I'm
3,
asking
4?
you. Give me a number.
Yeah. 16.
4.
Yeah. There was a lot. I know that's not a number, but how about the Boscher? How old is he? Do we have his age?
I can find his age. Our research assistant isn't here right now.
Yeah.
It'd be about 20 odd.
Assistant standing in front at the apprentice. He's just walked off. And so now our women's A1500. If I had to make a call, and actually this would be a really good battle. Claudia Hollingsworth, 15, 16-year-old, absolutely blew the hinges off the doors last year. Going up. Oh, yeah, good. Abby Caldwell, I was about to say.
Ed Beischer's 22, by the way.
Wow.
That was very slow. I could never get a jump champion data.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Halfway through the next race.
Thanks, Rich.
He is 22.
Yeah. Just, by the way, he's 22 years old.
Yeah, this is another race of names, eh?
Well done. Yes, guys, I have friends at the track, okay? It's not just me and Mick to hang out.
No, everyone. Just schmoozing, just like our other co-host.
Yeah. So Charlotte Wilson actually coaches Archie Noakes, and here she is racing in the women's 1500. So what a coach-athlete duo. And we are underway. I reckon Abby Caldwell's going to take this out fast. That's just a hunch that I have. But I could be wrong. Do we have a pacer? No. Or is it unattached?
No, hip number looks like it is attached.
All right. Beautiful. Now we got the pacer. Abby Caldwell tucked in, and just on the outside of her, I think, is that Hancock Cameron? I'd be very interested to see who this is on the back of Abby Caldwell. So,
is that Hollingsworth, though, who's a pacer?
I'm, a little bit confused. Maybe it is. Gee, she's, yep.
That is.
Oh, no. Oh, yep. No. Amy Bunnage, that is from Mentone on the outside of her. So, Hollingsworth is going to be our pacemaker. She's just going, looks at the watch and says, this is fantastic. Caldwell behind her there. So too is going to be Hancock Cameron. And on the inside of them,
Bunnage is tipped right in there as well.
Is Rebecca Green. Yeah, Bunnage, she has a lot of wheels. Dixon on the back there too. So this front pack, what are they going through?
So she's the pacemaker. The pace would be a bit over 4 minutes.
My Lord. So we're going through in 63 seconds.
That's what we're doing, eh?
Wow, yeah, everyone's just going, okay.
Yeah, okay,
this
that's
is
the
what
pace.
we're doing tonight, yep.
Probably wasn't one we asked for, but that's what we got
But
from the 800-metre specialist.
We're here now. Anyone interested in Com Games or World Champs? Who up, Doe?
And Caldwell, Hancock Cameron, Bunnage, they all say, yes, we are.
They say, yeah, I wouldn't mind mind a trip to England or a trip to Eugene. That'd be great.
Shania Murray right up there as well, also in the mix for this this old qualifier they're so-called going for.
This is a great pack we've got leading up here.
Absolutely. Clara Dest just hanging off the back of them as well, about 5-10 metre gap.
They're moving. So Hollingsworth still leading out. Probably the class athlete of the field, you would say, in Abby Caldwell, but tucked in really nicely is still going to be Hancock Cameron. On the inside of her is Green, and on the back of that is Bunnage. So this front pack, if they can hold on through until the bell, I reckon they might still have something left in them.
We were mocking the pace early on, but I take back everything that I said. With nice little tight pack there, and Hollingsworth leading them out relatively metronomically. This is setting them up for a really, really strong finish, especially the likes of Caldwell.
This is going to be a cracker with 600 metres to go. So Hollingsworth done a lot of the work. Caldwell right behind her there. And so too is Hancock Cameron, who I feel like we haven't spoken about much, but she has tucked in beautifully on the outside throughout the majority of this race. So just starting to lose a little bit of contact is Bunnage. I won't say Green because Green still looks determined. So Hollingsworth just steps off the track now.
Meters.
So Here we go. Caldwell might have to try and make this a race of her own with 500 metres to go. Tucked in nicely there is Hancock Cameron, and Green still on the back there. So Caldwell going to lead out Hancock Cameron over 400 metres to go. 3:03 on the clock. Watch them go
on
now.
Shania
So
Murray just
Caldwell.
trailing 5-10 metres behind the pair up the front, but it is all Caldwell. Hancock Cameron trying her best to hang on.
Oh
The
my
elastic
Lord.
band hasn't snapped yet. 300 metres to go. And Caldwell is looking the goods. If she runs around that 63, 64 seconds, it is going to be quick.
Oh, my Lord.
You
She
keep
just picked
talking,
it up.
Mitch. I'll look up some PBs.
Oh, my Jesus. So, Abby Caldwell, if it hasn't snapped, the elastic band is certainly tense. 3:34 on the clock. She is absolutely flying. This is an unbelievable performance here. Much like we saw in the women's A800, the women are turning it up here at Box Hill tonight. So, Abby Caldwell, she started about a metre ahead with 400 metres to go. With 100 to go, she's 15. So, Abby Caldwell starts to get the arms pumping. 3:54 on the clock. This is going to be an absolute flyer. Everybody at the track standing up, and so they should. Abby Caldwell, she's done it on her own with 400 metres to go. 4:04, 4:05. Used to start the year. And Hancock Cameron going to stop it at 4:10 as well. That is phenomenal racing. And here comes Rebecca Green, 4:15. Bunny's going to come and get under the 4:20. Yes, 4:18.
So PB for Caldwell and Hancock Cameron by a couple of seconds each.
Wow.
4:05 from Caldwell.
That is flying. I'll tell you what.
It's quick.
The women are turning up.
Tell you what.
Oh, my Lord. 4:05.
How naive were we at the very start of this race?
Oh, my God.
Low 4 minutes, are they?
That is ridiculous. Good, mate. Hey, we are privileged to be here with the winner of the men's A1500, Ed Baisha. Ed, walk us through the race, mate. It was a little bit chaotic out there, but you managed to get the biscuits.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just a chaotic start there, being on the inside lane, but yeah, just try to, getting around the front early and keep working up and just make one big move as best as I could at the end there. So just did that and didn't fade. So yeah.
Was that the tactic from the coach? Just wait, the race will open up, and then when you got your moment, take it, or what were you sort of going through?
Sort of thereabouts. Like I try to go in to win. Like I never come in to come second, so it never happens. But coming first. But yeah, just came off today and was just able to keep moving up towards the end.
You looked incredibly strong through the final 100 metres, and I'll tell you what, I thought it was going to be a tight battle between you and Diamond there, and you managed to just stick your neck out with 5 metres to go. Tell me, do you train a little bit with Tom Bowers? I know you're both from Old Scotch. What's it like to be able to train with him and the rest of the group you've got down there? You guys are building something pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And with this season, we're starting to get it all together, which is pretty exciting. So, like been training up with Tom, my younger brother, and a few others, and like the other month, we all got under 820 in the 3K, which is huge. So having guys with the same fitness to really push you on those longer sessions really makes a lot of the difference. Tom has been the biggest improver so far in the last year, so it's just awesome to see him go from strength to strength.
Yeah, 100%. Well, hey, congratulations, Ed. That's fantastic, running a fast time, and well done. Looking forward to seeing you for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Well, there you go. Old Scotch building something.
Wonder what they're building. Something good.
Yeah.
If that's the start of the building, it's the foundations are strong.
That's the foundations, yeah. That is a house that's going to last a long time. So the men's B1500 now on the way. Again, I'm shook by what just happened in that women's A1500. But we've got to turn our attention to the 15-man strong field, and let's see how these boys take it out. Albiston, a mate of Izak Bibile, who's eating his 7th hamburger of the night. As we roll through the first 200. 20. No, this is going to be a little bit slow. Oh, geez, wow. That was some gymnastics at the back of the track. That was outrageous. I don't know who tripped who, but Alberston stayed away from it. David Grieg on the outside. Johnny Portwood too. Through this, just about to be the first 300 metres. So Alberston leads it out. 47 seconds on the clock. Let's see this pack. You want to try and find some room. Geez, there's a lot of pushing and there's a bit of shoving. Portwood's going to have to run out to Doncaster to get around this pack. So Alberston stays out of trouble. Tucked in behind him there is going to be Matty Goff. Oh, Matty Goff. I can't tell. I'm terrible with last names. Everybody should know that by now.
Here's Matty Goff, old Hagenauer boy.
Beautiful.
Doing some good things with Tom Watson now at the Seaside Track Club. There you go. I know people too.
Wow. You know a lot of people. You know that one.
Matty Goff, he ran the 3K a couple of weeks ago at the last milers and had an absolute breakthrough as well in the mid 8 minutes.
Oof. That is just scarily fast. So he's got right on the outside of Alberston. Portwood right behind him as well. So the front of this pack has done a lot of work. I almost think if you could sit in the middle of it towards the back of it, you're a little bit better off right now. And the one who's going to move around, I reckon very soon, is going to be Jacob Bell. And as I say that, here he comes. So Goff going to lead him out. Portwood, Alberston. Just behind him there, we were just talking about it, Baisha's younger brother, Ben.
That's it, the Baisha name. Absolute staple of the Milers Club.
Could we see 2 Baisha interviews?
You know what I call a staple? There's lots of them. Well, there's 2.
They're big staples. It's a rare stapler, okay? It has 2 staples in it, and they're identical. So the Baisha brothers, could they do the A and the B back-to-back? Not if Matty Goff has something to say about it. So Goff going to stretch him out.
Patrick Matthews.
Seaside Track Club.
Seaside Track Club, that's it. We'll see Patrick Matthews from Keelis and Burners making his way into 4th position, just on the heels of the young gentleman from Mentone.
Young gents. The Mentone boys.
Athletics Club. Sam Bunnage as well, coming in 5th place, right up on the heels of Paddy Matthews, but Matthew Goff isn't going to let them do it too easy as they approach 1 lap to go.
Xavier Johnson as well now getting right on the shoulder. So Goff, Johnson, Baisha. On the inside of him there is Paddy Matthews. The bell's gone, and look at this. They all get a little bit of adrenaline now. They say, hold on. Now, this is 1,500-metre racing, so Goff's still going to lead him out. On the inside of him is going to be Johnson. Baisha on the inside of that, and more Mentone starting to come. They are flooding Box Hill right now. It is an influx of Mentone at the front of the pack. Baisha now starting to drop off a little bit. Here comes Paddy Matthews now around the outside. He doesn't like lane 2, so he says, I'll take lane 3 instead. He's going to come around all of them with 200 metres to go. He slingshots his way to the front, Ricky Bobby style. 3:28 on the clock, 200 metres to go. Paddy Johnson going to lead it out. Here comes Mentone, though. Geez, it's either sink or swim, and you better believe they're swimming out in Mentone. So here they come now, 100 metres to go, and the boys are going to get absolutely moving now. It's Bunnage. He's got about 5 metres on his teammate. He's going to get moving. Bunnage now going to lead it out. He's going to get the better of Xavier Johnson. Bunnage gets the arms pumping. Bunnage takes the win here in the B with 3:56.
PB, if you don't mind, for Sam Bunnage.
Wow. Sammy Bunnage.
I think they're building something out Mentone.
I think they may be.
The foundations are strong.
Yeah, much like Old Scotch. Well, Scotch, Mentone. 2 places I need to stay away from if my ego wants to stay intact. Because I can't deal with that. Actually is the most serious man ever, Hussey. Look at him. Can't smile. He's prone.
Yeah, serious about running fast.
Yeah. That should be saying.
You're right, he is serious.
Sam. I don't want to load up all my questions off the interview, so I just said to you, Abby, that was absolutely insane. Walk us through that race. What was the plan? What was the tactic? It seemed pretty clear-cut for us.
Yeah, I mean, it was so nice having Claudia in there. I'm so grateful to have her in there. She just set that up perfectly for all of us. But yeah, I think it was just going out and seeing how we felt 800 in, and I just wanted to stay as comfortable as possible, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't know what to expect, conditions or anything tonight, like who was going to do what. So I think it just really all fell into my favour, which was really nice.
No, I think you're almost being like, you're taking away from what you did. Up that back straight in the last lap, you found another gear. You started to spin the wheels over. 1 metre became 15. You seem to have such good range of having a bit of distance in your leg and speed. Where's that come from? What have you and Gav been working on to try and find that now?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff with pace changeover, and I think that's really paying off. Like as you said, I've been able to turn it over when it comes to it, because there's been so many occasions where you get through a race and you just can't turn that next gear on. So yeah, we've done a lot of pace variation stuff in training, which is really come in my favour.
100%. Well, you look fantastic. We can't wait to see what you got in store for the rest of the year. Well
Thank
done,
you
Addie.
so much.
On your mark.
Just so you know. And we're underway here in the women's B 1500. This is going to get hard for me because I am losing my voice. So if you hate listening to me...
I'll do a bit of extra talking. Is that what you're asking for me? You can be the research man behind
Well, our apprentice is back, so that's exciting.
Welcome back, Isaac.
Thank you.
We appreciate you just being down trackside doing all the research and the schmoozing.
I was almost right with my tip about Thomas Diamond. It's just pipped on the
Almost.
line.
Still an unreal run. You weren't wrong about that.
World Under-20 qualifier for him. He'll be happy with that.
Oh, if you don't mind.
Wow.
Where is the World Under-20s going to be?
I think it's in Colombia this year. I think. So hopefully COVID allows that to go ahead.
I love on the back of a COVID year, they've gone, you know where we should have it? Colombia.
Unreal. Beautiful place. They had the actually they had world champs there a few years ago in Cali.
Really?
In Colombia. Yeah. Maybe about 4 years ago.
Maybe I take it back.
Yeah.
If any,
not as strange as it seems, but it does seem strange. I get that.
I take it back.
As the women go through their first 400 metres in 72 seconds. So him for about 4:30. Tess Rhodes has been in the lead from the gun, and doesn't look like she wants to give it up, and the others don't look like they want to take it.
Nah, they look happy to sit back, don't they? I think that's Maddie Laven behind her there, if I've read correctly. And just behind her is Lazari. So Lazari, Laven just going to sit right off the back.
Madison Caulfield in fourth there as well. She's a very strong runner, been running for many years, and may feature as this race progresses. Haven't heard a lot from Madison Caulfield in recent season or so, as I say that, though.
I think she's a bit injured. I think she was a little bit off the track, so she's found herself in a good spot.
Race.
Yeah. So it's still going to be Tess Rhodes who leads it out. Laven as well. As we mentioned, Caulfield now sitting in fourth, and just in front of her is Lazari. So this is a pretty nicely strung out pack, honestly. Anybody could fly from anywhere at this point.
Everyone just seems to be waiting, just locking into their stride, in no rush to... Well, there's a bit of a rush. They're running quick.
A little bit, yeah.
They're definitely running quick. I mean, no urgency to get going and spoil their race just yet. Just a lot of smart running going on, just following the heels of the person in front of them.
Yeah, 2:31, I think I heard Tim just call out then. So certainly running at a nice pace. Tess Rhodes still leading it out. Caulfield now starts to drift out to the outside of lane one. So maybe her and Lazari are ready to do some work. And just off the back of this pack, as Laven starts to drop off a little bit, is Tanasha Santos. So a known runner here at the Victorian Milers Club.
Yeah,
certainly won a race
name.
or two that I've seen.
And
here
I
we go.
reckon the girls at Essendon are building something here.
They really...
They're building something at Essendon.
There is...
Two athletes from the same club. They must be building something.
There's a lot of foundation work going on at Box Hill here pre-Christmas. As Caulfield now starts to move around. So 400 and let's call it 30 on the clock. And there's the knock at Tess Rhodes' door, and it's Maddie Caulfield standing there. So 3:27 with the bell just rung. Maddie Caulfield going to try and stretch him out. Lazari, here comes the foundation now. They're going to start to move away. So they haven't just moved away, they've boomed away. So Maddie Caulfield leading it out.
Caulfield. If she hasn't raced in a while, and as I said, I'll admit, I'm not watching every single race that has happened in the athletics season, so I could have missed one. But if this is a comeback race, very, very smart from Caulfield. Lazari, clubmate, running very smart as well, just behind her on her heel. And they have bridged, like, you can't, once again, camera can be deceptive. That is about 40 to 50 metres on the rest of the field in the space of maybe 200 metres.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
What? Maddie Caulfield, yeah. I mean, she's a national junior medalist, so she certainly had the pedigree when she was younger, but this is a massive welcome back to the track for Maddie Caulfield. So 100 metres to go. It's not just the arms pumping. You can see the clenching of the teeth. The determination is there. She's absolutely blown it out of the water. She was about a metre behind through the bell, and she's going to finish this race 15 metres in front of the next competitor. So Maddie Caulfield going to come down to the line. 4:33 on the clock.
Very strong run from Matisse Lazari as well.
Lazari as there.
Mentioned as well, Tanasha Santosh, regular name in these Milers clubs. Strong finish. Tess Rose does a lot of the work early.
That is a great, great run. Bite of the time well. And Essendon officially building something. You get two athletes from the same club that go 1-2. That means they've got to be officially building something
down at that
point.
club.
Yeah,
the foundations
that's just what it means.
Strong.
There's no two ways about it. Wowee. Wow. Men's C. 1,500. Geez, the sniffles don't sound good, do they?
Sniffles and the coughing.
Get your finger on the cough button there, Mitch, please.
Sound horrible on the
You haven't spent much time in radio, clearly.
Oh, yeah, well. You know what keeps happening? I keep forgetting which button's mine. So I'm just going to continuously keep blocking out the wrong person. But anyway, that's okay. Men's C, 1,500. 16. Oh, this is my favourite bloke in athletics, Fred Leighton. I love these Leighton brothers.
There's a lot to like about the Leightons.
They do a lot for me. Brandon Muscat, Joshy Johnson, Ben Griffiths, Toby Griffith, the son of Jeremy.
Oh, who gave us the waters?
Brother of the Olympian, Georgia.
Yeah, that's
in
important
the DNA.
too. But I mean, Jeremy's a pretty big figure down here. Yes, brother of Georgia.
Yeah, and Jeremy being the president, not just the waterman.
Yeah, he didn't just deliver us
the waters.
Yeah, we have an apprentice and the water boy. It's a special.
Not one in the same.
Yeah, we have separate. We've separated the two. So 16.
Tips for this race? I'm guessing you're going for Fred in this race.
Yes. Mate, if you ever see him on a track, just assume I'm going for him.
Well, he's going to have to break 4 minutes to win it. As a few of the boys, Caleb Sin, PB of 4 minutes. Ben Collins, 4:01. Matthew Sostarek, 4:02. So there'll be a bunch of these lads aiming to just be metronomic around that 64 second per lap, maybe even 63.
I love the hat.
Yeah, well, the sun's setting on Box Hill, but it's not down yet, so the hat, well and truly valid.
That's where you're wrong. The sun never sets on Box Hill. It is just picturesque here, 24/7, 365.
Yeah. Until it does set, and then you can't really see too well when you're racing around the back straight. Yeah. And then the sun has set.
In which case, turn the lights on, because I've actually fed you a falsity.
Case, council, give us better lighting.
I've fed you a lie. The sun does set. I hope no one's standing down here at 2 a.m.
Yeah, so the sun doesn't. The boys said the sun does not set at Box Hill.
So we lied. Yeah,
it implies constant lighting. No, you'd be wrong.
Well, Freddie Leighton sitting in third. There's my boy Tommy Forster going to lead it out. Fred Leighton now into second. Look at the contingent. I know. I feel like the swagger of Knox.
Shove. That's what we see in these middle distance races.
It's actually brutal.
How is the bottoms of all these shoes just
pink.
Spatterings of pink.
It's my favourite
flicking
colour.
about the track.
Without a doubt, my favourite colour. 64, I reckon. Give it.
Okay. A few of the boys going to need to work a bit. Benjamin Collins from Knox is in the mix. Freddie Leedon as well. Your boy, Mitch.
Yeah, Josh Augustinus from Old Zavarians. Very quiet, unassuming runner, but is known to be at the front of these fields. So he's sitting there in the mid-pack. I reckon definitely watch out for him.
Bevan Duez in third position, just on Tommy Forster's heels.
This is a cracking
And
night,
Robert
honestly.
Wheats of the Running Company Yarraville for all your running shoe and Sealy hats needs in fourth position.
I mean, this pack really hasn't broken up much. I feel like they're all just hanging around,
Bit
hanging
of
in
chopping
there.
and changing, isn't there, eh?
Yeah, there is a little bit. There really
Which
is a
we'd
little
like
bit
to
here.
see. We are racing after all. Benjamin Collins, the top seed in this race, has got a couple of metres on the rest of the boys now, on Tom Forster. It's Bevan Duez.
Well, Caleb Sin as well, the man with the hat. He's made his way around 4 people. Augustina's still not too far away.
And it is probably going to be amongst these top few in the final couple of laps as they go through the first 800 metres in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. A bit off that 4 minutes pace now. We'll probably expect to see them come through in around that 4:05 to 4:10 unless any of them absolutely smack the last lap or two.
Well, you'd never know. Like, they really could. But it has strung out nicely. So with 600 metres to go, everyone's going to have a little bit of room. Sin on the outside there of Benny Collins. So Collins done a lot of the work. Our Frankston man behind him as well, is that Harrison Boyd? Boyd, yes it is. So Boyd sitting just on the back of these guys. Essendon athlete now. They're building something at Essendon. Don't forget that is Sostarich. Getting on the outside, Augustinus as well. So I'm saying a lot of the outside, but everyone's trying to find a little bit of room at this rate. 3 minutes on the clock,
And
so
we have a
4
race.
minutes under. I reckon we might be able to see it here.
Check
Little
out
bit of
Harrison
pushing at the
Boyd.
back.
I'm liking Harrison Boyd from Bendigo sitting in third position right now.
Ooh, yeah.
The tall figure just going up on the shoulder of Duez and up on the shoulder of Caleb Sin with 300 metres to go.
How about a bit
It
of
is
Benny
Harrison
Griffith?
Boyd.
How about a bit of Benny Griffith? Harrison Boyd, you called it well. Caleb Sin, he's not done with yet. Stretches it back. Look at the hat. The peak of it's about to hit the light tower. He's next so far back. So Harrison Sin on the outside. Benny Griffith trying to do a little bit. Boyd going to try and hold him out. That was a great tip from you, Mick, I reckon. 150 to go. He's going to do his best to hold him out there, Harrison Boyd, but Sin looks pretty determined. Geez, the sun must be setting because the lights come on in the front 100 here. So Sin, watch out for Griffith now on the outside too. I reckon Griffith has his arms low, but his determination high. Griffith gets right on the outside. 200. He's done it from there. 350-ish. 57 second. Oh, my Lord.
How
Harrison
long was
Boyd.
I? 4:05 to 4.
Don't be so hard on yourself. I reckon you were right on it.
I'm happy to be
Oh my
proven wrong when it means blokes can run fast.
Ooh. So we are here with the winner of our men's B 1500. Sammy, run us through it, mate. That was a sensational race. You really made the most of it in the final 400, though. Walk us through it.
I don't know. I started pretty bad. Like normal. I have the acceleration of like a 6-year-old, so slow off the gun. So I was sitting back, and I don't know. I just felt good, which is pretty rare. Like last year, I was blowing up by 800 and stuff. So. Yeah, it was good.
So
and
what's
then,
changed then? If you're blowing up over 800 last year, now you're finishing off 1500s. Where's the switch been flicked?
I was enjoying some. I finished year 12 last season, so enjoying it a bit. I don't know really. I was running not as consistently as I am now. I joined Rising under Steve Fabra. Yeah, it's been a good switch. I've been really enjoying it. Got to love the sport a bit more, been a bit more consistent, and yeah, it's really helped.
That's great.
With motivation and stuff during, especially. Yeah.
It's always hard to do during year 12 as well, specifically, so I completely understand that. What's next for you? What are we looking at? 1500s, 800s, or going up from there?
Look at 15s to 5Ks, just because, speed's just not really my thing over 8, but
Yeah, just going for PBs this season. So, yeah. Hey,
100%.
beat this time. Next time, I'll be happy. So, yeah.
I mean, that's all you can do. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Well done on winning the race.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oof.
What do we have now? What do we have here? Women's C. Welcome back, Isaac. How have you been?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Who's your pick for this race? Who are we liking so far? Any names sticking out?
Not too sure. I'm straight away looking if there's any box athletes.
Obviously.
And
Obviously,
Hayley
besides any
George.
box athletes.
She's going to be my tip.
Okay. Good tip.
Why do we even ask? Pacemaker in this one.
Andrea De Jong. Pacemaking.
And how quickly is everyone to move over to the inside of the track sometimes?
Yeah, making it a little bit hard on the pacemaker. Yeah, just let Andrea get there if she can. 3 athletes say we don't want the pacemaker. We'll pace ourselves. Thank you very much. So wait and see who we got at the front there. I reckon.
I think it's Piper Gay of Williamstown.
Yeah.
The shortest and so far the fastest athlete in this field.
Yeah. Absolutely flying.
If height is a correlation of speed so far,
yeah,
that theory holds true.
Then you want to be short. That's where you want to be right now. So Piper Gay leading it out. As you shared, the shortest athlete we have. Pugh behind her there.
Sienna Rowe of Doncaster is up in the mix.
You got a little bit of...
As is Caitlin Barr of Glen Huntly is there too. Yes. Pug.
So we've got 6, I had to really count there, 6 athletes ahead of the pacemaker of Andrea De Jong. So these girls aren't messing about. Piper Gay, the least of which prepared to be behind the pacemaker. There we go. That took a little bit of thinking, but we got there now. So yeah. Piper Gay doesn't have a watch, doesn't have anything, just going off pure gut and feeling through this first 600, 500. I was going to say 600. Piper Gay is about to break records. So coming up to the 600-metre mark.
Well, to put it in a bit of perspective here, all their PBs are give or take 5 seconds of 5 minutes, which is a minute 20 per lap. Ooh, we had a bit of a fall there.
Tumble there.
So they want to be going through this 600 in about 2 minutes. And
153.
They're fast. Let's see what the pacemaker is. And 157. So admire the ambition. And sometimes when you're on, you're on.
Yeah. If
it's happened before.
You're feeling it, yeah. Don't knock it till you try it.
But also they've got a bit of a pack as well. Like it's not just, Piper's copping the brunt of it right now, but leading the 4 of them out.
Caitlin Barr on the back.
The rest of them, if you're feeling good and you've got a few people in front of you that you can follow and get in a bit of a pack with, then why not?
Yeah, just tuck in. Absolutely. Try and minimise the amount of work that you have to do, and that's exactly what these girls are doing. So Molly Rager as well towards the back of that lead pack, and I reckon we may see somebody get picked up here. So starting to move from the second pack is going to be Olivia Twining. So Olivia Twining's been able to just about latch onto this front pack from that second one. Piper Gay still doing a lot of the work. Pugh behind her there. Rager, Caitlin Barr. And now the name we need to throw into there is Olivia Twining. So Twining got on there really well. Rager just in front of her there. And that is a big move. I reckon she had to make up about 10 metres there, which is not easy to do in the midst of a 1,500, but she's done it with class and effortless.
Especially if you're charging ahead of that pacemaker as well. It's a bit gutsy, but she obviously feeling good. And with a bit over a lap to go, it doesn't really matter anymore now.
No.
Pacemaker's well and truly off in the distance. The 6 girls ahead are relatively holding steady with that pace. Piper Gay is metronomic in her approach with 1 lap to go.
Well, 3:33 on the clock, and right behind her now is Twining. So Twining, the one who made it up from that second group, is now going to try and go around the early race leader and Piper Gay. So Gay's trying to go gun to tape. We saw a lot of them in the 800. We haven't seen one in the 15 yet, I don't believe.
But we'd love to see
Abby
it.
Caldwell, but there was a pacemaker, so do you count it? We might see it now, though. Piper Gay just starting to look down at the track and find a little bit of something in her legs. Twining on the outside there, going to get launching. So if Piper Gay cannot let this elastic band snap, I reckon she's still right in it. So Twining with 200.
I was about to say, Olivia is in the mood for twinning.
Yeah.
Twining. We'll call it twinning if she does.
Yeah, I think we just call it now, to be honest. Because she's still latched right on the back there.
Either way, it is going to be a fast time from both of the young women here in this women's C race.
Well,
charging towards the finish line. Piper Gay, wowee. 50 metres to go. Takes the race back.
PB.
She's led for 1,450 metres.
Oh, my God.
4:46. Over 10 seconds, maybe even 15 seconds from the two ladies in front.
This 5-minute mark.
How good's the first time you go under 5 minutes?
That's a flying race. That's
few
cracking.
subs.
Yeah.
Few sub fives.
Oh, mate, it's about half the field under the 5. That's sensational. How about Piper Gay said, don't let that elastic band snap because you never know if you're going to be able to peg it back, and that's just what she did. Easier said than done for that, not letting the elastic band snap, because once that lactic kicks in, you're not much of a chance from there. So well done to Piper Gay to be able to hold on and take a big W in that one. In the women's C 1500. Has the cat got your tongue, Isaac?
Oh, well, you guys are just doing such a good job that there's not much to say for me.
of what Thomas Diamond did in that, the men's A.
Yeah, well, I lost my commentating rhythm there when I jumped off the mic.
That's okay.
Need to get back into it.
No better time than the men's D 1500.
Well, I can see some familiar faces here. Matt Venner, Nicholas Martin, Hudson Bucci.
Will Lindsay.
800 men from Rising Track Club. Who's your tip for this one, Mitch?
Well, I'm a massive sucker for Will Lindsay. Have a huge soft spot for him. Also, Logan Tickell, Bucci, Maddie Venner, even all. Nah, I got to go Will Lindsay. Got to go Will Lindsay.
I reckon I'm backing Matt Venner.
I knew you would say that.
He's got good wheels, so if it comes down to it,
he does.
He's going to outkick everyone, I reckon.
State champion?
He did win state 3K 2 seasons ago, I think. He's got a few medals, so he's definitely one to watch.
So he's got the range. See if he's got the speed.
He runs a pretty good 800, and often at Shields you'll see him doing a 2 or 4 as well. So
he'll pin the ears back.
Yeah.
Well, I love a little bit of Alan Vernal as well. This is a cracking, although I have just put my jacket on, I'll admit.
Starting to get a bit chilly.
Yeah, it is a little bit chilly, but that's okay. We can deal with that.
It's almost perfect for the races.
It is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. We're clear to start here in the men's D 1500. And we've lost Mick Masseni. I don't know where to.
He's disappeared.
Might be getting a sausage.
We don't have any of the commentators representing out on the track this meet.
I know, it's a little bit disappointing, isn't it? Maybe I'll just get out and do the next one.
Why not?
Yeah,
Go
just for the
it.
sake of it. It would be an absolute debacle.
Well, it looks like Venner's going to go for it. But
so
just as I say that, Tickell's going to take the lead from him.
Yeah, but Venner's in a good spot there. You want to be in that, one out, one back position. And then, who is that? Is that Hudson? Is that your man Hudson Bucci?
No one really wants to take the lead here. They're running 4 wide.
Yeah, well, they're just about. They may as well high five us past the commentary box here, I reckon. So who we got coming to the front here now? We have
got Nicholas Martin coming to the front there with his training partner Matt Venner on his shoulder, and it looks like one of the other Knox runners, Matthew Padden, is going to join them at the front there.
Geez, you've got them all down, Pat. So it's a Knox trio leading it out. What do we got? 66 on the clock. Break that down for me, Isaac.
It's on track for about a 4:08, I think.
Ish. All right, now we're moving. Willie Lindsay on the outside there. That's very exciting. Bucci's going to try and bridge the gap between them all here. Lindsay getting on the back of it, but it is just all Knox. 1, 2, 3. Punch it all out. Cannot be separated right now, this Knox contingent.
Well, they haven't
and
gone
it
out
feels
too
weird
quickly.
to say it because Mick's not here, but they're building something at Knox.
They haven't
This
gone out
is the
too quickly,
foundation.
so this could come down to Will Lindsay's kick because I'm pretty sure he's the fastest 800 metre runner in the field.
Patrick O'Leary wants to know where you've been to point out super shoes.
Oh,
You've been
let's
missing
have a
your
look.
super shoe counter, apparently.
There's a lot of super shoes in this race. The top 5 are all wearing super shoes.
Nick
So-
Martin. Does he have super shoes on? Because
does.
he's running
He's
a
got the
super
Dragonflies.
race. Let me tell you that much for free. Nick Martin leading out Venor. Patton closely behind. Bucci behind them there. Tikel, Will Lindsay. Look at this contingent. This is beautifully strung out. Look at this. Everyone's got some room. Alan Vernal at the back of it still in the race. So they're starting to stretch it now. Patton, Venor. No, not Patton.
Looks like Martin and Venner are just going to start to open up a gap here. Got about 2-3 metres on Patton, so he's going to have to work hard if he wants to stay with his teammates here. Because Martin looks like he wants to stretch this field out and move away from them with 500 to go. They go through the cane about 2:45, so that is that consistent 66-second lap pace.
Here he comes, Willie Lindsay. Tikel just on the inside of him, Lindsay on the outside, and we got our Yarra Rangers athlete in Luke Hunter as well. So Lindsay goes around the first of the Knox trio. 3:03 on the clock now. Let's see how far Martin can stretch it. Venor starting to get swallowed by Lindsay too. There's only Martin in front of him now. So Will Lindsay starts to go around the outside. He's going to hunt down Martin, I reckon. Tikel not far behind him. Venor not done with yet. But it is all Will Lindsay. 300 metres to go. You can tell the man's been in the gym. 3:24 on the clock. 300 to go. Certainly not done with yet as Nicky Martin. Will Lindsay starts to stretch it. Venor not far away. Tikel as well. Bucci, all of them still within a red-hot cracker winning this race. 3:36 on it now. Will Lindsay starts to stretch. Venor not far away, Isaac. We might be doing a 1-2 here, I reckon. Will Lindsay going to try and steamroll him away. Martin now starts to move the wheels as well. 1:20 to go. Will Lindsay now. He's still leaning it out. Martin, Venor. I think it's all Will Lindsay. The only man who can beat him, I think, is going to be Martin. But it is Will Lindsay at the moment. Coming down to the line. 30 metres to go. Martin and Venor starting to come with a late charge. Lindsay's going to need to find something. Venor. Ooh.
Oh.
Jeez. Needed eyes on the back of his head, Willie Lindsay. I don't know. Who got it?
I think Venner got him.
I think you might have got him.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. You would be flat being Willie Lindsay. But at 4:08, 4:09, you got to be happy with that.
Very impressive running.
Awesome.
All right, we are here with Maddie Caulfield. Maddie, congratulations on winning that 1500. Run us
Thank
through.
you.
You sort of worked your way from the back, then started to get moving late. Was that the plan?
I mean, my goal was 4:40. I started a bit ahead of that pace. I think we did like a 71 and then dropped back a bit, so I kind of pushed to keep up there. Then I guess I just thought I had a little extra, so gave it all in the end.
Yeah, I could see the grit of the teeth coming down through the bell.
Oh, yeah, I
You
was
started just
struggling.
behind, and then you blew it out, as I said. We
Yeah.
haven't seen you on a track for a little while, so is this the first race back for how long?
A frighteningly long time. I reckon, I was just thinking the last time I ran a PB was here like 8 years ago. I don't think
Wow.
I've done a milers race in 3 seasons, so I'm
Okay.
glad to be back. My focus is back on track.
I mean, I
good.
feel like that's half the battle here anyway.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, what's next then? Are you going to stay with 1500? You're going down to 8. You're ramping it up. What's next for the rest of the season?
I reckon 1500s is kind of where I sit. 800s, I may have lost a bit of my speed, but I'll give it a go. But yeah, I'm kind of loving the 15s at the moment, in between distance.
I was going to say, if you're winning them, there's no stranger way.
I'll have to go up to the A heat now.
Nah, you'll be fine. Maybe you can win that
Winning's
one as well.
done.
Nah, you never know what can happen.
No,
Well,
I'll keep trying.
well done, Maddie. Congratulations on winning the 15.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you back on the track.
Thank you.
Who are we missing? All right. There is no chance I'm going to be able to talk at work tomorrow. This is this is tapping me. I've stopped coughing though. That's got to be exciting for everybody.
It's good
involved.
signs.
Strong signs as we head here to the men's E 1500. 16 on the track. Murray Lavass.
He's becoming a veteran of the Milers Clubs. Who we want to watch in this race. A couple of Box Hill singlets.
Rightio. To our men's E 1500.
It's another big field here, 16 runners in it. Could be anyone's race. I reckon that we could see a pretty stretched out field here.
See, Cole's facts always coming up.
So we're off and racing here in this men's E 1500 metres, and it looks like it's going to be Zakowski there in hip number 12, who moves into the lead, followed by Raymond Jansen, and then the Diamond Valley athlete on the inside there. So they're strung out early on, but they are running 2 or 3 wide in some parts of the field. So nothing too rapid that they all can't handle it, but they are definitely moving at an honest pace. Quite a few boys happy just to sit in the back of the pack, ready to make some moves in the latter part of the race and don't want to do too much work early on. So it's still Zakowski leading with Jansen on his shoulder, and then it looks like the Frankston athlete sitting there in third with the Diamond Valley athlete in fourth. About a 66-67 second first lap there, so they're moving at a pretty honest pace, on track for around that 4:10 mark, which would be a PB for a lot of these boys, I'm sure. So Zakowski looks like he's stuck in the lead here. No one wants to take it from him. The Frankston athlete just sitting on his shoulder. He's happy to be in second place and not making any moves. Happy just to have the sit. Looks like we've had an athlete fall off the back here as well. We're not sure what's happened there.
I think he lost his shoe. Either maybe got spiked or just spent half a second on the grass trying to get his shoe back on.
Yeah, looks like that's Archie Hewitt. So now he's stuck off the back of the pack. He's going to have to try and figure his way back to the pack here because he's got about 20 metres off the back now. So he's definitely got some work to do. But the Frankston athlete has moved into the lead with Raymond Jansen sitting in second. So trying to get the name on this lead here. Can't see his hip number, but it looks like it's Thomas Humphreys. So he's leading Raymond Jansen and this field. And these two got about 5 metres on Zakowski in third. And the rest of the pack is strung out nicely behind them. So these two might try and pull away here, but I think Raymond's just happy to sit and not do much work. And then Humphreys, it looks like he wants to pick it up a bit now because he had to sit for the first 2 laps and now he's moved to the front and it looks like he's going to try and pull away. But as I say that, it looks like the rest of the field's going to try and go with him. So we've got a few boys behind Humphreys here, including our early race leader, Zakowski, with another Box Hill athlete, Scott Benedict, moving to the front now, and he's gone for it. So Benedict's going to go for it here as they come through in 3:09 at the bell. Jansen's going to have to try and go with him. If they can close quickly, they could be on for about a 4:10 here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but it looks like Scott Benedict's going to kick away from this field. Jansen's going to have to try and go with him. But it does look like it's a 2-man race, but even Jansen's starting to look like he's just out of it because Benedict is moving away with authority. He wants this win on the home track. He's defending his turf. But, oh, geez, Raymond Jansen, he doesn't want to let him go. Maybe Scott Benedict's gone too hard. He's still fighting hard, but Zakowski, the earlier race leader, is still in the race. He's in third spot at the moment. Can he get back onto these lead two? Raymond Jansen now, he's going to move up past Scott Benedict. But Benedict, I don't think he's got a response. He's struggling a bit now, but Jansen, he's got the wheels. He's got a pretty good 800 PB, and he's showing that here as he kicks away in the men's E1500 metres. It looks like he's going to get the win. Zakowski, he did a lot of the work early, and he's going to get second place. Benedict, he went for it. It was a gutsy effort from him, but he'll have to settle for third. So 4:14, a good fast last lap there from Raymond Jansen, and the rest of the field comes through now around the 4:20 mark. So some very fast running from the boys here.
Benedict's your boy. Just couldn't do it in the end.
He was trying to defend his turf, but just didn't have it. But
did a lot of
gutsy effort.
The turf is undefendable. It's hard when you have to do a lot of work by yourself mid-race or towards the end.
Yeah. Don't think we've seen many Box Hill wins today.
Next up will be the women's D, so about 8 or so races left in the programming for tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races, 7 1500 metre races left, running through to 9:30 this evening.
I was saying to Mitch before that we don't have any commentator representatives out on the track tonight. How come you're not racing, Mick? The calves didn't handle the spikes after last meet.
The calf needed about a week off after I ran that 3,000 metres. I completely regret my decision to run in spikes. I'm too old. Most people would scoff at that because I'm actually not that old. But it's taught me a lesson, and I'm just going to give the fitness a bit of an old break around the Christmas period and launch into a new year, I think.
Is the lesson learned that you need to get super spikes?
Super spikes, or just a bit more foam under my foot in one form or another, whether that be super spikes or just the fat foamy super shoes. We'll have to see. Yeah, I think I might just stay where I'm more comfortable out on the roads.
Fair enough.
Forget about my track career. Absolute jealousy watching everyone running around at a Melbourne Marathon on the weekend, though.
Absolute day for it.
Absolutely. If I've ever seen one myself.
"17 competitors in the field here, so the women's D race is going to be one of the biggest fields we've seen tonight."
Sam Prime, hip number 7 in the Nike swoosh, right in the middle of the field. Always love to see Sam Prime racing. Unreal talent as a junior, and she's still popping her head up in races here and there over the past couple of years. We'll see. Not sure where her current form is. So Freya Brown of Mornington Peninsula. Up the front, Sam Prime, as mentioned, just seeing the Nike swoosh sitting into second position. And Ruby Donaldson of Glen Huntley. They'll be your top three into the first couple of 100 metres of this women's D 1500 metres.
Strung out nicely, but everyone's still in the race. So it's not a blistering pace. Geez, at the back of the pack there, they're running about 4 wide. So still making some decisions as to where they want to sit for the race.
It's a bit hard when the pace is going so quickly. Where do you sort of sit? You don't want to be left, 20 metres behind. It's a bit nerve-wracking being left 20 metres behind just for the sake of sitting on the inside in the rails. But that's racing. You still got to play to the race, play to your ability, and make those quick decisions.
Well, Freya Brown is one who's not being left behind. She's gone for it at the front of the race, the Mornington athlete. And as you said earlier, Samantha Prime, she's looking good on the shoulder of her.
Sophie Bolmat right in there as well, just on the inside of Prime. Tilly Williams as well. I believe that's daughter of the coach Sean Williams, athlete from Mentone, sitting way out in almost lane 3, lane 2 at least.
Still running about 3 or 4 wide here, so people still making moves. Everyone's ready to go, but no one's really ready to take the lead. Everyone just wants to be up there.
Even the athletes at the very, very back of the pack, drifting out to that second lane, just try and find their position in these early stages. 600 metres down and still jostling.
What's wrong with the inside of lane 1? No one wants to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Tilly Williams right up the front. She's probably where she wants to be right now. Sam Prime wants to be there even more. It's almost up on her shoulder. And Chelsea Tickle in third position. So it's Williams, Prime, Tickle and Bolmat, your top 4. Freya Brown, the athlete from Mornington Peninsula, in 5th position. Those 5 haven't really changed too much. The flood of other athletes behind them have been chopping and changing as they go through the first 2 laps in 2:44, sitting about the 5:10, 5:15 for 1,500 metres. And from Diamond Valley, Poppy Scott Dowlish making her first appearance at the top of the field. One person who hasn't really changed, Sam Prime, has constantly been in first or second position. I would like to see her remain in that position in the final 500 metres. She's done a lot of work and she's looking remarkably consistent in her stride.
I think it's fair to say that Prime is in the prime position at the moment. The outside shoulder, ready to make a move at any moment.
Samantha is
500
primed.
to go. Still plenty of moves being made in the back of the field. And, of course, they're still running in lane 2, some of the athletes. So as they come up to the bell, going to get in at about 3:45. So Prime finally moves into the lead.
Check out Cassandra Sapin from Melbourne University in the white in 4th position right now. She just sort of strided her way through the pack, sitting on the heels of the athlete in red there. And I reckon she's going to make a move in the last 300 metres. Keep an eye on the Melbourne Uni athlete as Sam Prime holds her first position. 300 metres to go. From Old Zavs, I don't think we've mentioned Annabelle Coleman yet. And
Doncaster
oh my God,
now.
Lily
Moving
Purcell
around,
from Doncaster as she moves her way into
Making
second
a very
position
strong
right up on
move.
the heels of Sam Prime. She's the only one who hasn't changed from this first few in the whole race, but Lily Purcell from Doncaster, wow. She was a name that we didn't call out early.
She's going for it, and it looks like she's going to pull away from the field here. 120 to go, and she's going to take it out, I think. There's a chance of a sub-5 here. Have to close fast, but might just miss it as Prime's just going to get passed by the Melbourne Uni athlete here. So, geez, some fast finishing athletes here. This is going to be a close one.
Cassandra Sapin.
Sapin's going to take it.
Did I say it, or did I say it with a lap to go? Probably my first call of the night.
5:01 on the clock there. So
Sam
some very
Primes.
impressive running from Sapin.
Still a strong run by a number of these athletes who were doing early leading. I haven't seen actually, probably only 2 or 3 different leaders, but
yeah,
the amount of athletes who were in that top 3, I think it was about 10 different athletes that made their way into the top 3 at some different stage in the race tonight.
Prime was unlucky in the end, just got run over the top by the other athletes. She had to sit the whole race, but just didn't have it in that last 100 metres.
You'd almost like to watch that back and watch Lily Purcell the whole race and just see where she was sitting.
Yeah.
Because she made a move 100 metres, or 1 lap to go, should I say.
Even Sapin, neither of them were really up there in the early stages of the race, but they just knew that they had a good kick and they used it at the end.
Sapin absolutely wrapped with her run. Clearly PB. All smiles. What a night here at Box Hill. Barely a breath of wind. It was a bit windy earlier in the night, but now, as the sun has set, Mitch was saying earlier that the sun does not set on Box Hill, but I can tell you absolutely has.
It's taken its time, though.
Yeah,
still a bit of sunlight.
The wind or the feather banners are just fluttering in the very, very light wind.
I wouldn't even call it a wind, just a light breeze.
Breeze. I was trying to find the right word.
It's a bit of a chilly
breeze. That's what it is. A light breeze. The moon is just popping out of the sky. Amazing conditions down here now.
Every milers, it seems that Box Hill's just got something new added to the track. They've got the clock and the spotlight. Who knows what they'll have next meet?
So around that 4:30 mark, there a lot of them have run, 4:25 to 4:30. So it's about 71, 72 seconds per lap, if I've got this field correct, which I have.
Looks like Joel Davis from Mornington is going to go out for the lead here, with the Deakin athlete just taking over for him now. So a fast start. Some of these boys wanting some quick times tonight, so they're definitely going for it.
Now, Oliver Bradshaw from Deakin, he's the one leading the way.
Got the old Scotch runner moving around now. I'm not sure if we'll take the lead from him, but he's happy to just be sitting on the outside there.
And that would be Harrison Carr from Old Scotch. So Ollie Bradshaw, Harrison Carr from Old Scotch are your top two. They'll be looking to clock each lap in around 70, 71 seconds, set them up nicely for a PB tonight in perfect conditions here at Box Hill Athletics track.
He's not the only Harrison Carr from Old Scotch. There's an older Harrison Carr with a double R.
1 R and 2 Rs.
Yeah.
How dare they join the same club?
Controversial.
Just confuse us.
Confuse everyone. But it is Carr who's taken out this race to come through 400 metres here in about 68, 69. So they're moving at an honest pace, on track for about a 4:15, 4:16. So if they can keep this up, I'm sure that'll be a PB for a lot of these boys.
And a couple of athletes from Melbourne Uni right in the mix as well. They're building something out there. That's Tyler Dembua.
They're building something everywhere, apparently.
Whenever you've got a couple of athletes from the same club, so closely together up in the race. And Bryn Lonigan as well. Tyler Dembua and Bryn Lonigan of Melbourne Uni right in the mix. Damien Clark of Frankston and the Run Culture Owls. Shout out to Dane Verway if you're watching. So Carr, Dembua, Lonigan. And from Bendigo, Billy Mead is throwing himself right into the mix. So if they go for these first couple of laps in around 2 minutes 20, they are well and truly on. .220, 221, 222 going for that first couple of laps. So I'd say they are on.
They're moving nicely. Pace hasn't slowed too much. Carr's happy to be out the front, just pushing the pace. They've got a nice pack with him. Group of about 6 athletes there.
Billy Mead from Bendigo, he's looking the goods, I reckon. He's made his way from 5th or 6th up into 3rd position, just sitting on the heels now of Bryn Lonigan of Melbourne Uni. Harrison Carr, he's doing a lot of the work. And so far what we've seen, if you do too much of the work, it doesn't end too well.
It worked to some of the 800s, but maybe not the 15. It's a bit too long for it.
Damien Clark making his way up, traditionally a longer distance athlete, trying his hand at the 1,500 metres. And he's taking the lead. But Billy Mead, check him out.
A few boys getting a bit keen now. They get the bell in about 3:14, and Billy Mead looks like he's going to go for it.
So if
Carr's
he runs
going to try and cover that move, though.
70-second last 400 is what a few of them need to get under that 425. And I'd say Billy Mead, Harrison Carr, maybe even Damien Clark are all looking good to do that. Definitely Billy Mead right up the front. Rewatch this race when you check out the replays, ladies and gentlemen. Lonigan's teammate in Tyler Dembua running into 4th position. Right there, Damien Clark just fading away ever so slightly into the distance, but Billy Mead, how is he? 150 metres to go, 352.
Jeez, the Melbourne Uni athlete's gone for it here.
Tyler Dembua. Ooh, did we call it too early?
Yeah,
did he leave it too late?
No, he's gone for it.
Billy Mead was like, I'm home and hosed here, and Dembua said, no way.
What about this for the last 200?
I got my half tights on. I'm the fast runner here on this track tonight. It's me.
4:19. Very impressive running there. It's about a 64 last lap from Dembua.
Okay, and about 6 runners under that 425 mark.
Quite a few boys under the 430 as well. So very impressive running here. It's the magic of the Box Hill Athletics track. Brings the best out of runners.
Magical place. It is looking magical right now. That sky is looking unreal.
You can see Jazz Dio checking out some of the photos he's taken. He'll be loving the backdrop for the photos tonight.
The Quads of Fury. Unreal photographs from Jazz.
Best photos in the game.
The men's G 1500. This is the dash for cash. No, I'm joking. Dash for cash was early in the evening, of course.
I was confused.
The women's D800. They already dash for the cash.
Maybe this can be Mitch's dash for cash.
Yeah.
Give the winner from this race $50.
Yeah.
Got another Melbourne Uni athlete in this race. They've been represented pretty well tonight.
They have always are in distance races. Always enjoy. I wonder if we're going to get a race from Melbourne Uni Athletics Club this season. They usually hold an invitational race or two.
I've also seen plenty of unattached athletes, which is a good thing because it means that there's new runners joining the ASVIC program.
That's it, having a go, coming into the sport.
I'm sure we'll see him signed up to other clubs next season.
Okay, what's going on here? A bit of confusion on the old hip number front. Oh, okay. Confused 3 with 13, maybe. Did someone draw a 1 in front of his 3?
The starters aren't happy. Looks like we're good to go now.
And personal best times in this field, 4:30 to 4:36. They're still pretty tightly bunched. Quite amazing when you have this many entries. Athletes in the races have been about 5 to 10 seconds spread between them. So 4:30, there's a number of athletes who put down 4:30 as their seed time.
Ollie Pratt going out to the lead and already looking at his watch, 100 metres in.
After 100 metres. Don't you love those 100-metre splits?
Got to be bang on.
Although I hope you're not one of the people that times their run-throughs.
No, I'm not. That's junk mileage.
Did 3 times 100-metre run-throughs at 2:42 pace.
Upload it separately from the rest of the session.
Yeah.
But Pratt's happy to lead at the moment. He's got a pair of super shoes on. That's what you love to see. The Dragonflies. Rory Craig tucked in on the inside there.
In 72-second laps, nice and easy. 72, 2:24, 3:36. That's the formula for this race. If they want to crack that 4:30 mark, that's what we're hoping that a number of the boys do.
I believe that's Daniel Hopkins sitting in second place there. Happy to have the sit on Ollie Pratt. As they come through in about 69 or 77. So 70 seconds, I think. So they're moving at an honest pace. They're strung out nicely. Pratt's still happy to be in the lead with Sear from Melbourne Uni on his shoulder. And then behind him, Daniel Hopkins and Rory Craig just sitting on the back of that lead pack of 5. Got one of our unattached athletes sitting in third spot there on the outside. I'll try and get a read on that hip number there. I believe it's Jackson Wright in hip number 1. As we see Sear take the lead from Ollie Pratt now. So they're moving nicely. 2:04 through 700 metres. 2 laps to go. On for something speedy here. So they haven't slowed it down too much, about a 71, 72 second lap there. So Sear going on the front has probably helped the race just keep an honest pace. As we see Jackson Wright just move around Ollie Pratt, the early race leader now. So it does look like it's a 3-man race. Daniel Hopkins sitting in 4th place. He's going to have to try and make a move now if he wants to stay in contact with these lead 3. But it does look like Sear out front is happy to be moving at this pace. He doesn't want to be waiting around for anyone else to make the moves. He wants to be making the moves himself. So he's leading from Jackson Wright. Ollie Pratt's hanging on for 3rd. He led early, but he doesn't want to let these guys get away.
And 3 minutes through the K. The top 3 athletes are right smack bang on that 4:30 pace. And they need to close in 76 seconds. They've got a couple of seconds up their sleeve to run this last 400 metres and get sub 4:30. But who's going to take the win, Isaac? What do you reckon?
I've got to go with Sear. He made a confident move.
He's all of a sudden broken the field as soon as I said that. Easy question to answer, maybe. We'll see how Wright goes over the closing 300 metres and Pratt. He's a very upright runner, isn't he? Daniel Sear.
He's pretty tall as well. He's got a long stride. He might not look it on the screen, but in person, he's quite tall, and he's using those long strides just to kick away from the field now. So with 150 to go, Sear is going to stamp his authority on the race and take the win. Can't see anyone catching him from here, but the battle is on for second between Wright and Pratt. It looks like Wright's going to have the edge on Pratt here, but as I say that, Pratt moves wide to try and make a move on him, but it's all Sear out the front for Melbourne Uni, taking the win. And look at the time, 4:18. Very impressive running there, and Ollie Pratt will come over the top for second. 4:24.25 for Jackson Wright. So some very impressive running there.
Genso
RC.
Under
unattached.
4:30, about 4:29. Oh, look at him. All around 4:32, 4:31.
Very impressive running from the field.
So a few PBs out the front of the field.
Some very happy boys after that race. Everyone around that 4:30 mark, quite a few under it as well, so I'm sure that's a big barrier for a lot of those boys. As we move on to the women's E1500 metres, the final women's race of the night. Big field here, 18 runners, so it could be anyone's race. Hopefully there's no pushing and shoving. Sometimes you see that in the track races when there's a big field like this.
Don't mind a bit of push and shove if it's all middle distance racing, eh?
Get the elbows down at the start.
That's it. All
just like cross country.
All within the World Athletics regulations, of course. The amount of officials that are out on track.
Oh, well, pushing and shoving is the least of World Athletics concerns at the moment with all the new super shoes coming out.
Oh, shut up.
The high stack height shoes.
Oh, my God.
Can't see many of them out here in this race. Maybe a few pairs of next percents.
Don't worry about the pushing and shoving. We've got all these super shoes to worry about. And I think this might be this is the final women's race of this evening. So PB's quite spread actually from about 5.5 to 6.5 minute mark. So 5:20 actually, and that is Amelia Morton. So we'll be keeping our eye on her and Priya Diol as well, the athlete from Box Hill around the middle of the track. So top seed, home track. What do you reckon, Isaac? Who have you got your money on?
Ooh, well, got to go with the Box Hill athlete, Priya Diol. Got to back the fellow Box Hill runners.
So we'll be looking about a 1 minute 23 seconds per lap. That's around that 5:20 mark. 1:23, 2:46. Doing my maths in my head
maths.
here. 2:46. Then we've got a 4:09. Like I knew this. Not like I've got it written down on a piece of paper. You're the researcher, mate. We should have this information right in front of us.
You lost me there with all your calculations.
Ah, 2:52. I'm an idiot. 1:26, 2:52, 1200 and 4:18. Oh my God, I was way off. I cannot believe that. '86, not 83. That was my downfall. Miscalculated that first lap.
So we're off and racing in the final women's race of the night. Quite a big field, so it's hard to see who's going to go to the lead, but it does look like it's going to be a Box Hill athlete.
Amelia Morton, so the home track athlete. We were saying the two Box Hill athletes who have the top seeds at around 5:20 in Priya Diol and Amelia Morton. Eden Hill from Wodonga is right on the heels of Morton, and the athlete from Ballarat YCW is, or two athletes from Ballarat YCW are right there as well, Lenny Williams being one of them and Ruby Sanders being the other. So the country girls at the head of the field trailing Amelia Morton. 86 seconds per lap, 86. That's what we're looking for.
Well, they're very spread out here, so it'll be hard to get splits on everyone, but hopefully some of these runners can drag through the others for PBs because, as we were saying before, the seed times are pretty spread out, but it does look like everyone's still intact at the moment, so no one's too spread apart, and hopefully we can see some big PBs.
Rihanna Watts was one of the athletes from Ballarat YCW, the front of the field. BYCW.
There's quite a few clubs down in Ballarat.
I love seeing the
YCW,
country clubs
Eureka.
get out on a Thursday night and running Vic Milers. That is
It's a big effort.
Massive effort. So still Morton. You will wonder if she's going to be time trialing the whole thing because these, and it looks like a couple of twins here, but but they're not. The girls from Ballarat are trailing Morton and just working together step by step, clearly doing the training partner thing. Amelia Morton just looks like she has slowed ever so slightly as the country girls just trail her. and try and bridge that gap. Almost helping her out a bit. And it'd probably help her out if they passed her. Amelia Morton just slips in behind for another lap. Just waits, and has a strong finish. That's what I'd do anyway.
Not do any of the work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
Sit and
tactical
kick.
after all. Racing's racing.
Got to do what you got to do to win.
That's it. It's Rihanna Watts from Ballarat in second position. Amelia Morton still leading out. Lenny Williams from Ballarat in third. And Eden Hill of Wodonga. They are our top four, going stride by stride, metre by metre apart right now. Salamar from Sandringham is leading that next pack there. Priya Diol, one of the early race favourites from Box Hill, 520 PB, is in the mix in that second pack. But Amelia Morton, she hasn't been a simple case of letting them pass. 2:48 they go through the first 2 laps in, so we're heading around that 5:10 to 5:15 pace. So well ahead of that 5:20, which a few of them would be aiming for. As Rihanna Watts feels too good and goes up on the shoulder of Morton. Does Morton do the tactic, the aforementioned tactic, and just hang back, let Watts do a bit of work for a lap or so, bide her time?
Well, if these four can stay together for the last lap, then they should be able to work together to push each other for something fast in that final 100 metres. Because they're on track for something around the 5:20 mark, but if they're all there, they can definitely kick under that.
So Watts, Morton, Williams, and Hill. It'll be interesting to see as Morton already run a race in these first 2 laps. Has Watts just timed this perfectly? Is Hill going to do something as she comes up on the shoulder of Williams? Will she bridge the gap to Morton and then go past her up to Watts? Last 300 metres is going to be a cracker. Watts holding strong, but not increasing the lead at all over Morton. Check out Eden Hill in third position in the maroon top of the Wodonga Athletics Club. Let's see what she can do over these closing stages.
She's had to sit all race, and now she's decided to make a move. So she's done what you were saying to do, Mick, the sit and kick. We'll see if it works now as she moves into the lead and starts to pull away from the field with 200 metres to go.
Lenny Williams has also been having the sit for a while, and she passes her teammate in Watts. But Eden Hill, great run. She just waited, feeling good, let the others drag her through, and now she's got a gap of about 10, 15 metres ahead of the girls from Ballarat in Williams and Watts. Amelia Morton is still going to finish in a strong time, but is a little bit further back from the Ballarat athletes. Eden Hill, she'll go well under her seed mark of 5:20. Lenny Williams with a strong finish. But Hill just holds her off. 5:13, 5:14, 5:15. Amelia Morton, 5:18.
So 5 athletes under 5:20.
Melissa Sandbrooks, just under 5:20. Number 7 in Alexa Sheard as well. She ran a great race. PB with a little fist pump there.
Great to see good solid numbers amongst the women, sitting around that 30 to 35% mark of our fields at the moment, and try and build that up closer towards that 50. Next event on the track will be the men's 1500 metres, scheduled for 9:07.
Oh, you need a chain in your tummy. Chain sat at something. Yeah, that's the thing. Bulk pads.
buddy. Good to see you, mate. You too, mate. I think the table's the same. Double back.
Third last race for the evening, the men's H, 1500 metres, followed by the men's I, men's J. So athletes are up on screen. A few familiar names there. We'll check out the PBs in a minute.
Hip number 3, we've got Jerry N. He's the host of the Jerry and Friends podcast. We mentioned him last Vic Milers Club meet. We'll give him another shout out today.
And what's the Jerry and Friends podcast all about?
Just interviews his friends.
Just a bit of this. Is it athletics focused, or is it just a bit of this and that?
Bit of this and that.
Yeah,
all types of athletes.
So it's sport focused.
Yeah, mainly sports.
Jerry and Friends, righto. They'll give me something to listen to on the way home. So 4:36 to 4:47. So the men's races are still relatively tightly bunched. About 10 seconds separating them. And what's that? About 74 seconds per lap. Minute 14, 2 minutes 28, etc., etc. I won't pretend to know that I know all the maths that quickly.
They're already pretty strung out.
They
Glenn
are.
Huntley athletes going for it early on with Jerry sitting in behind him. Trying to figure out which singlet that is in third spot there. Looks a bit like the old Melbourne, but in different colours.
I think that's Camberwell Grammar.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't help us. The athlete's name is Billy Swingler. Unattached, there you go.
Maybe it is
CGS.
Oh, yeah.
Caulfield. Oh, Camberwell.
Camberwell
That's what
Grammar,
I said, yeah. Why did I say the letters CGS for Camberwell Grammar School, then second guess myself? Trust in my gut.
They're moving nicely. I think that was a 70-second first lap there.
And Will Orchard holding that first possession. Jerry from the Jerry and Friends podcast in second position, right on the inside. Hip number 14, Oliver Burns from Williamstown Athletics Club in third. Max Luke from Collingwood in the mix as well. Our boy from Camberwell Grammar School, unattached. And who is our last athlete in that front pack there? Kane Higchima from Glen Huntley.
Now, Jerry, he should have an edge on the rest of the field here because he's interviewed so many athletes. He's going to know all the different tactics for different situations. So he's going to be able to put them in place here as we come up with 2 laps to go.
Inside word, you reckon?
Oh, yeah, well, he interviews some pretty good runners.
Who's the best one he's interviewed?
Oh, well.
Oh, and Ethan Miller down, unfortunately. Get back up, do the Craig Mottram son.
Doug Buckridge is probably the best.
Doug Buckridge, he's pretty quick runner, Doug Buckridge. Unfortunately, he's not racing, Doug. Can't get the inside tactics. He probably would not do too well if he was. Billy Swingler from Camberwell right up there in the mix. But it is still our athlete, Will Orchard, doing it comfortably. Oliver Burns, Williamstown, watch him. Running a little bit wide, but doing so with ease.
We saw a fall just before. That's only the second of the night. That's a pretty solid effort for a meet full of distance runners. Usually there's a bit of argy-bargy, so only 2 falls is a solid effort, but hopefully no one falls over with 500 metres to go in this race because starting to heat up, as we can see, a solid pack of about 10 runners, maybe a bit less in this lead pack here as they go through the cane about 3:05, so they're moving nicely.
Which is where they want to be. That's 4:37 pace smack on. Now is Burns, Oliver Burns. He has just been sitting second or third the whole race. Strong last lap. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon he's looking the goods. He was sitting nicely early in the race, and now he's made his move to the front, and it looks like he wants to kick away from the field. But our man, the unattached athlete, Billy Swingler, he's sitting in second and he's moving nicely. He just needs to hang on to Oliver Burns here.
It will be an interesting finish. Will Orchard, has he run his race in third position? Maybe that gap is getting a bit.
He looks a bit tired.
He is looking a bit tired, and Oliver Burns is looking the opposite as he charges around the back of that discus cage in the back straight. 180 metres to go as they both trip on the rail. Did the rail just, one of them tripped and then just kicked off into the track zone.
Almost a commentator's curse there.
Yeah. Oliver Burns and Billy Schwingler, they had made the race their own. Sat, all in that top 5 that whole race. And Swingler, the athlete from Camberwell Grammar, have a look at him on the outside. Will he take Burns in the final metres of this 1500? He will, and he does it with style, stopping his watch just in front of the line just to make sure, in case the timing didn't quite catch that. What a run, Billy Swingler.
Right on 4:30.
Nice work. You'll recognise that singlet now.
We will. Never forget.
Actually, we were so focused on the singlets, we didn't even mention the toothpaste-coloured shorts. Love that.
And he's got the next percents on.
He has next percents on. A young whippersnapper like that wears the next percents on the 1500 metres, and I have to drag myself around 7.5 laps last week in spikes, and I think I can still do it with fresh calves. I'm an absolute fool. And this lad goes out and runs a 4:29, let's call it. Let's get it under 4:30, 4:29 in some fat next percents. What a run. Gives me hope.
Down to the second last race of the evening, the men's I 1500 metres. A field of 15 here. Should be a good race. Looks like we've got another Diol in here. Sargent, hip number 8 from Box Hill.
So PBs, we'll check out the spread right now for everyone sitting at home, waiting on the edge of their seats. Running a few minutes ahead of time here at Milers Club tonight. You always run on time, but almost running ahead of time. So we don't mind seeing if all the athletes are ready to go, they're ready to go. 4:49 to 5 minutes is the spread here. So once again, only 10 seconds spreading the first and the last athletes seated in this event. We'll see. They never finish within 10 seconds of each other.
Who knows?
They might start like that, but in theory it sounds good. It's amazing how different everyone can race on the day.
Maybe this race will break the pattern. Who knows?
Maybe. Hope so. So 4:49, about 78, so I would think. No, 77's even. 77, 234, 351, and then closing in a 57, 448. Let's see how many of these lads can get under that.
Will we see some team tactics here from Mornington? Definitely seeing quite a few Mornington athletes today. Building something down there.
And they've both got the first name William as well.
Mm.
and one of them just made a fist, smacking it into his palm. If that's a sign of aggression pre-race, if I've ever seen one on an athletics track.
He's going to go for it.
William
and
Davies
he
and
started
William
to watch
Hughes.
as well on the gum.
But it might be William Pratt, the third William from Mornington. The three Mornington boys, they settle into the back of the field.
Looks like we've got a Bendigo athlete leading as the South Melbourne athlete comes around in the cap. Looks like that's Matthew Holditch. So Holditch is going to lead. Looks like Imbriano is going to sit in behind him. As we see some athletes making their way around the outside.
A young lad from Williamstown,
all the way
Jasper
out into
Gay.
lane 3.
Almost
lane
brother
3.
of Piper from earlier on in the night.
That's right.
Okay, he's one of our Mornington Peninsula boys. He needs to bring his mate
Looks
up
like
the
that's
field
William
with him,
Hughes.
though. William Hughes, he needs to bring Davies up with him as Ethiopian tactics. Rex Brennan from Ballarat making his way up to the head of the field. He's had enough after 300 metres. It's like, going too slow. Hurry up.
Oop, someone's been clipped there. Pushed onto the inside. It looks like it was Holditch. Cops a little clip there on the back of the heel. Looked like about a 78 or 77 through the bell there.
78 seconds. That is right on pace for that. Just sub 450, which a lot of these athletes are gunning towards. But look at this. Rex Brennan putting a bit of a gap on the rest of the field, who Joel Imbriano leads them at this stage. He's the athlete from St. Kevin's in the yellow top. Rex Brennan.
He's trying to make a long run from home, but Imbriano's not going to let it happen. He's keeping the fielding contact with Brennan.
Our boy from Bendigo, Avery McDermott, in those quick Nike shorts, in third position, right up on the shoulder of Imbriano. Rex Brennan's still doing the work, but as we said, perfect conditions here at Box Hill, only a breath of wind, if that. So leading might not be the most detrimental thing. If you're feeling good, you're feeling good, and he's looking comfortable at this stage. Joel Imbriano is, however, stalking young Rex Brennan from Ballarat as they go through the first two laps in 2:35, right on that 4:50 pace. So Brennan, Imbriano, McDermott, Holditch. They're our top four with about 600 metres to go.
Testing.
And Williams doesn't want to give up the lead, although McDermott wants to take it.
If Brennan can hold on and win this, be one of the best wins of the night.
Yeah.
He went for it early, tried to gap the field.
And
it
it's
looks
not
like the Bendigo athlete's going to go for it now.
He will as he laps his watch
Laps
with
his watch.
one to go. That's what you love to see. Watch back the video. Get your splits afterwards, mate. Rex Brennan, imagine if he made a comeback from here. I don't think he's going to, because Avery McDermott, with 1 lap to go, has made a move with gusto, as Hamish and Andy would say. 300 metres to go. McDermott, Rex Brennan, I hope he can hold on for a good time. He's done such a good race so far. Holditch is right there. Our boy from St. Kevin's in Imbriano. They are still our top four, and they deserve to be after the work they put in early. But 200 metres to go. Avery McDermott. He is going to win it. He's got a lead of about 30 or 40 metres ahead of the rest of the field. Brennan's still in second position. Let's see what time they'll be gunning for.
Should be on for about that 450, but definitely beating the switch that you were reading out early. So it's going to be a very impressive run here as McDermott makes his way to the finish line. It's going to be close to a sub 440 even. I reckon he's going to get it.
From the lad who has run 457 as his PB.
436.
18-second PB. Run. That's not bad.
And Holditch, he'll come across the line for second, followed by Brennan. So some very good running there. Gutsy running. Everyone took a turn of the lead at some point. Brennan did most of the work in the middle of the race, but some huge running from there, from everyone there. Almost the whole field under 5 minutes.
The temperature has well and truly dropped here at Box Hill.
It has.
If you warm up well, conducive to quick running.
I reckon it's almost perfect for runners, but for us commentators just sitting here, it's probably a bit chilly.
Who got here around 6 o'clock and decided to roll up in shorts?
It was hotter early on.
Yeah, it was a good. I don't completely regret my decision, but I'm just a bit disappointed in myself.
At least it's not windy.
At least it's not windy.
If we were at Lakeside, we'd be in strife.
Last race of the season. Last race of the season. Last race.
Jeez.
If tonight is a season of commentary, it is the last race of the season. However, it's not. It's an evening. Last race of the evening is what I should have said. Thanks for always picking up my mistakes, Isaac. Jeez. Okay, and let's check out the spread of PBs. Last race of the evening, we expect there to be a bit of a spread, but let's see what the top few are going to be aiming towards. So we've got 5 minutes from Asher Grodsky and Brennan Cullen. Isaac Sontag, Marcus Bourne. So these are a few of our athletes to look out for who have PBs around that 5 minute mark. So 5 minutes, 1 minute 20 per lap. And all the way up to around that 6 minute mark. So the athletes will be quite spread early on. A few older athletes, a few quite young athletes. I don't think I've seen so many little athletics uniforms in one race, including an AFL uniform as well, if you don't mind. The West Coast Eagles out in lane 9.
We saw the Carlton jersey earlier in the 800 metres.
I actually don't mind. I might do that for my next, like if I run a 5K or something, obviously with a lot of foam under my feet, I might roll around in the Bulldogs jersey.
Oh, the
grand final edition.
Well, we're off and racing for the final time of the night here at Vic Milers Club Meet 2. And it looks like it's going to be our man from Williamstown going out to the lead. And straight away he's put a gap on the field. So he's not waiting around for anyone.
Can I just say the standard, though, like to get a start in this last race? I mean, anyone can enter and get a start at Milers Club. It's like an inclusive environment and everything. But how is the standard when the top guys in this last race of the evening are going to be running 5 minutes?
It's very impressive. Sontag, he's definitely going for that. His PB was around the 5:04 mark, I think.
He was one of the athletes called out earlier. A few athletes from Williamstown, who are big supporters of these Milers Club races.
Geez, Sontag, 52nd first 300, so he's on track for about a 4:15 at the moment on that 68-second lap pace.
That'd be nice for him, 4:15, coming down from 5 minutes.
50-second PB.
Yeah,
Sure,
everyone's got their tactics, and maybe tactic was to just go out hard and see what happens.
Make the drive from Williamstown worth it. And he has gone through in about a 68 there, so he's definitely moving along nicely as the rest of the field starts to come through in about 76 seconds. And then another group of athletes coming through in about 82 seconds. So they're definitely spread out a lot here, as we expected, but it is Sontag out front, going through 500 in about 1:29. So Sontag's got about a lead of 50 metres on the field at the moment, and I'm sure that's only going to grow bigger because he's looking pretty comfortable. Looks like he's got plenty left in him.
It's an interesting thing, as you say, grow bigger, Isaac. You might not have had too many 1,500 metre races, if any, this season, and a lot of athletes around their teens will sort of have that winter growth spurt, and all of a sudden their PBs in former seasons become obsolete as they grow bigger and stronger, and all of a sudden collect a 20-second PB in their first race after a long lockdown of winter training.
Well, there's a 68-second lap there, I think. I've done my maths correct.
So that could be what we're seeing here right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes through his 800 in around 2:30, and that's still on for quite a quick pace. That's around 4:30.
Actually, I think I've completely miscounted. I think that was a 78. as he goes through in about 2:28 through 800 metres. So he's still moving along nicely, on track for that 5 minute, but not as quick as that first lap, which is expected. Usually you go out a bit quicker than you finish. But Sontag, he's still got a huge lead on this field, about 50 metres between him and second place. And if you can just hold on to this, keep moving at this pace, he'll be on track for well under 5 minutes. As we see the West Coast jersey moving around some athletes.
Gotta love that. And the
Bold
old little
choice
laps
to wear
pack.
the West Coast Eagles jersey in Victoria.
Yeah, that is a bit unusual. Well, they can't be on holidays thanks to Mark. If this was maybe a February, March race, and it would be plausible, but maybe they got family has sent it over. How is this? Sontag, 1 lap to go, 3:30. If he runs even if he runs a 1:30 for his last lap, he's collected himself a PB, and he'll do much better than that. Marcus Bourne in second position, running a strong race as well. Everyone
Angus
coming
Thomas
through
in
now.
Third is looking good. It's looking smooth.
About the top 5 are heading for under that 5 minute mark, or top
Definitely
4
set
at
it up
least.
for it. With all Sontag out front, the lead has started to shrink a bit, but can't see anyone catching him from here. He's still got about 40 metres on the field. He's led from gun to tape. He's going to take the win here in a very impressive time. It should be a big PB for him. Sontag enters the home straight for the final time. And look at this, he's found another gear. He's kicking down it as he gets closer to the finish line. And watch the clock. It's going to be sub 450 here.
It'll be a 20-second PB, Isaac.
4:47. Very impressive running from Sontag. Huge win. Look at this. 4 athletes under 5 minutes.
All for the first time. You love to see it.
Home of PBs, bringing the best out of runners.
Night of PBs. What a night for it as well.
The sun's only just gone down.
The sun never sets. The sun never sets on Box Hill. Wow.
Jeez.
I'd hate to be that the person giving out the place tags at the end of that finish there. If that's something that still happens. And Max Dimtrenko finishing up his 1,500 metres.
Look at the sprint. Let's get behind him. He's going for it. Come on, Max. Got a best time.
And Max Dimtrenko comes in with a PB of 6:20, and he's going to wipe 8 seconds off that time. PB for Max. Well done. Completely time trialed as well.
He did.
Ran it by himself. Stuck to his pace. 10-second PB.
In the Dragonflies.
Well, there you go. I didn't even recognise that.
Dragonflies.
And some fancy Steigen socks as well. Gotta love the Steigens.
He's got everything you need for a PB. And PBs has been something we've seen a lot of tonight at Meet 2 of the Vic Milers Club. It's another good turnout. Plenty of athletes. I think I heard Tim Crosby say there were over 400 tonight.
Over 400. They keep breaking records here, and we've got 3 more meets to look forward to in the new year, and a couple of different venues as well, and a bunch of other athletics events that Athletics Exclusive is going to be streaming. So I'll see you at the next one, Isaac.
See you there, Mick.
Good night, everyone.